we're live.
We're back on air. Well, today we're gonna talk about what? Detroit.
Man,
Yeah,
gangsters, man.
I know
Gangsters.
Detroit, man. That's where you're from, right?
Yeah, man. It was, you know, growing up in the '80s
Yeah.
in the murder capital of the world. Like you don't realize it.
Um,
You don't realize it. Like you're just like, well, this is where I'm from. Like this is where I live. You know,
Yeah.
like you don't like yeah, and like we would read the articles and we would see on the news but you're still like unfazed.
Unfazed by it. Is it because you hear more of that and there's more of that that's happening to the reason
You
why?
don't think any other way.
Yeah.
You don't think any other way.
Yeah.
Like so, you know what I mean? It's like so if you're used to a peaceful environment, you know, like you're like in peace. You
Yeah.
know, that's how you live. If
Yeah.
you're in a hostile environment, that's how you live. You know, like that's what you're used to.
So you pretty much kind of get used to the violence that's happening around you, and you keep moving forward still, right? You don't really let it phase you, or
It
As a
changes.
kid.
It changes you entirely.
yeah,
Like versus someone that came from a peaceful environment, like Noah, right? It's like
Yeah.
where you're from, very peaceful environment, right?
Oh, it's not peaceful at all.
No.
it wasn't
not
there.
peaceful.
Okay, it was a different,
No.
different life.
No, I grew up like it was the ghetto part of France.
Right.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that was definitely.
Oh, I
not
thought you were
peaceful.
from like fancy France.
Oh,
man.
I mean, it is fancy France, like the city where I grew up. Yes, but the environment, that's why I can really relate.
Right,
Okay.
too.
Well, but you're from Kingston, man.
Oh yeah, well, it's the same. It's the same thing, right? It's like anywhere wherever you go, there's always going to be good parts of it. There's always going to be bad parts of it, right? Because that's just the way the world is, right? It doesn't matter where you go. You have the rich and you have the
Yeah.
middle and you have the poor. Survival, right? So,
But I think it's good to like see it though, experience it. You know what I mean?
to get a better understanding.
Huh?
I mean, we can watch it on TV, hear it on the radio, but when you actually are in there and living it and experience it, it's a totally different vibe. And it's funny because I had an opportunity to go to the States and, LA, and that's how I kind of realized, because from what I was seeing on TV and stuff is different from when I got there. I can understand why the cops are being the way they are. I can understand why the people are being the way they are. And I'm going like, wow, so it's a constant battle all the time. But it gave me a different perspective, not just watching it on TV and hearing it on the radio. I was actually in the hood, seeing
Compton.
yeah. I was seeing it, and I'm going like, wow, here it is. I'm from across the border, right? So I was like, all right, I'm glad I'm across the border because it's a different world.
Yeah.
I'm not judging it. It is what it is. But now I understand the reason why they function the way they do.
Yeah, like there's like a difference in desperation.
Yeah.
Is like desperation. Then if you have guns,
Yeah.
that makes it different.
Right.
That makes it real.
Right.
Whereas in France land are guns legal?
It's not legal, but it's very easy to bring them in from East Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
it's very easy.
Yeah, like so.
But
So
it's not legal.
I mean, in America, everybody's strapping, man. Like the biggest gun violence country in the world.
Wow. So Detroit was
Yeah.
that it? Wow.
Oh
I didn't know
yeah,
that was
like so. Well, there's gun violence, but then there's like the murder capital of
Yeah.
the world, and that was what Detroit was.
That was back in the 80s?
In the 80s, man. And,
Yeah.
and like I said, it's like you just you heard it, you read it, you just didn't really think of it.
You just keep moving.
Yeah, I mean, but like you were always on alert, like,
Yeah.
and that was the weird thing is like so like I mean it adds stress,
Yeah.
to your your well-being, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
so
for
I
sure.
don't think it's a healthy environment
yeah.
when you're
When you're constantly having to be watching, or
I don't think that's healthy.
no, it's not healthy. But
Does it change your behavior too? Let's say if you want to go into the beef, like if someone like provoking you or something, you're probably gonna think like, well, that person probably have
a
a
gun.
firearm.
Yeah, firearm. Yeah.
So you can't really, you know what I mean? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like you can't be aggressive, It's like you can be aggressive here, and like what's gonna happen? Like the guy's gonna take out his hockey stick, and
And go, you want to play hockey? Do you want to play hockey?
Right,
Do you
right.
want to have some slap shot?
Right,
Is
yeah.
that what it is? Yes. It's, that's the
like,
weird.
it's just so fast to pull it and just in your face,
Yeah.
And you're just like, whoa, that escalated.
Yeah, I didn't. I
know?
didn't see that happening. I didn't see that coming. I just wanted to bite off your ham sandwich.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I wanted, man. You don't have to get so mad. Why you mad, bro? Why you mad?
chip.
So, like, I mean, your dad had a business in Detroit, and how did he survive? How did he handle, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like I would listen to him at night when he was sleeping.
Yeah,
I could hear his teeth grinding, from across the hallway.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you gotta imagine how loud, how much he's grinding his teeth, right? And like, that's not because of good dreams. I'm telling
So
you,
he's-
dude.
yeah,
he's
yeah,
not dreaming
yeah.
about chicks,
He's thinking
man.
about something.
He's definitely like
Yeah.
worried about all sorts of stuff. You
Yeah.
know? And so like, again, as a kid, like you learn so much from just observing.
yeah,
Like really, like children are great at observing behavior, and they're just like,
yeah. I think as a kid you absorb more. Then as you get an adult, you start losing that part of absorbing the things around you. You know.
Well, because
Yeah,
like
they're like
yeah, like
sponges.
you're
Kids are like
yeah,
sponge.
you're right. Yeah, like kids are totally like sponges, but like yeah, like so it's kind of like that sponge like ability like
Yeah.
fades away as you get older. And,
Yeah.
But like yeah, man, that was real, and so it's just like you knew that like there's something like not good happening.
Yeah.
And so it was but then it's like Noah and I were talking a little earlier, like that it's just like it's like a double effect. It's
Yeah.
like so not only are you in the murder capital, where everyone's shooting each other, but then you're in the scrap metal business,
Yes.
which is also kind of notoriously gangster as well.
Oh,
because
okay, I see.
It's kind of like
Right.
it's kind of like unregulated, really. And it's like if you
Can you explain more about that? Though?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. Yeah.
well, I mean, like so you go and pick up a piece of metal on the street, right? You can bring it to any scrapyard and trade it for money.
Wow. Okay.
Like I don't know any other industry where you can
It's
still.
like a jewelry store, basically. You like. You
But like a jewelry store, like they wouldn't buy gold from you, like what I mean, like they buy from Gucci or Fendi or whatever.
Right.
So you can't like you're talking about a pawn shop, maybe, but like the scrap metal business is like you trade metal for money.
Money. Right.
I don't know where else
Yeah.
you can kind of do something like that where it's just, then that's it. Like they put on the scale and they go, here's your money, and you're like, cool.
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, I've gone to a couple of scrap yards where I've taken my metal, and yeah, I just go dump it off. They weigh it, and then they give me money. And I said, hey, it's a beautiful day. It's great doing business with you. And it was a walk good business because I give you metal, you give me money, we thank each other. I'm on my way.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
So like, but the thing is like in like the scrap metal business is like, so let's say like you bring in a whole bunch of copper pipe, right?
Yeah.
Like so you redid your kitchen plumbing, right? And so you have all of this copper pipe, and like so copper is like $3 a pound or something like that.
Okay.
$3 a pound, right?
Wow, that's
so
pretty good.
so you bring in 100 pounds, you get $300 cash.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That's
right?
pretty cool, yeah.
So here's the tricky part though, is like so it has to go on a scale
Okay.
at the scrap yard,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
And so, you're Joe Schmo from the public that you're like bringing it in and you're assuming
That-
that the scale is accurate.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I
See?
I think I
knew,
understand that.
Yeah, I knew where you were going with that, which is so true, though. You're trusting in the fact that it is calibrated in right in order for you to get.
One of the oldest tricks in the book is to put a tennis ball underneath the scale.
Oh, so when it.
So like it won't be hard, like so it won't stop from weighing something.
Right.
but it will give resistance, so it won't give you the full weight.
Right. So is that walk good business or?
I don't think that's walk good business.
Okay,
man.
I'm just checking,
that-
'cause-
we'll have to look that up in the
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the book. Which chapter is the tennis ball? Oh, right.
Wait a
right,
second.
right,
I don't think I
right.
read anything about a tennis ball in there, but
You know,
But in the long run, then they can stay in business for so long.
they can.
They can.
Yeah, they can.
I mean,
But everyone would know that they.
So like, there's an old saying in the scrap business is like, what do you want? You want an honest price or an honest weight? You can't have both. You want an honest price or you want an honest
Right.
weight? You can't have both, right? So that's like an old saying, you know. And like I experienced that, and like so this is the stuff that I experienced. Like
Right.
so you got murder in the streets, and then you got this sort of nonsense happening inside of the scrapyard, and I'm going like. Man,
That was a lot, eh?
what did I walk into? What was I born into? This is like horrible stuff, man. Like you're blatantly cheating people that come to your place of business.
yeah,
For what reason? Greed,
right.
you know. And like so I think like I would think that like Walk Good was probably brewing back
Back then,
when
yeah,
I was a kid.
yeah, because you're seeing all this
Yeah,
stuff,
I'm going
and
like-
and
like
here we
this-
are today.
Like, cause like I think as a kid, you know what's right and wrong.
Yeah,
'Cause
we
you're
all
taught
do.
that.
We all do. We all know.
You're taught that as
Yeah.
a kid, like, oh, that's right, that's wrong, and
Yeah.
you like, you know, okay.
Yeah.
And then when you see something wrong, you're like, well, that's wrong. They're like, oh,
Well, you know,
well, hold on a minute, you know.
Right.
yeah.
yeah.
Are you sure it's really wrong? Are you sure you're looking at it? No, see, but it's wrong. It's wrong. It doesn't matter. You know, you can't bury it. You can't hide it. The truth is gonna come out regardless.
Yeah.
So no matter how much dirt you want to put on it, still.
Well, or like another trick that my dad told me about was so they got like a waterbed mattress.
yeah. Okay.
And they put in the back of their pickup truck.
Okay.
Okay, they filled it up with water.
Okay.
Right, so it's a waterbed mattress.
Right.
Full with water, right? And then they put the scrap metal on top of it.
Oh wow.
And they drive on top of the scale, right? And they weigh in. So I don't know.
wow.
You've probably never been to a scrapyard, but like you think of like your pickup truck is full with scrap metal
Okay,
in the
then
back
it's
of it.
So the
But then you have like this waterbed mattress full with water, and
Okay.
water is heavy, right?
Yeah.
And so you go on the scale, okay, and they weigh you in, and like let's say like your weight is like 10,000 pounds, like that's how much your truck weighs
Yeah.
with
oh,
you
but
in
they're
it.
hiding the mattress full of water.
Yeah,
They're
yeah. They
hiding
put,
it.
They're
yeah,
hiding it,
yeah. They
right?
put all
Okay.
the
And,
metal.
Okay.
and so they go over the scale, they weigh in 10,000 pounds or whatever, right? And so like then as they're driving
Right.
to go dump the steel, they pop a hole in the mattress, and all the water runs out, and so they get paid for that water as well.
Oh wow.
Right? Like when they go back on the scale, now the water's gone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the metal's gone,
Yeah.
and so they not only got paid for the metal, they also got paid for the water that was inside the
Wow.
mattress.
Jesus,
Wow,
okay.
that's-
So when they come back, they also get Jesus.
Yeah, because you have to go, and then when you come back, you go back on the scale again.
So it's
right?
called
So-
your gross weight. Your gross weight is with everything on it, and then your tear weight is with nothing, right?
Okay.
And then you get your net weight, right? So
Yeah.
gross minus tear equals net.
Okay.
And so you
Yeah.
get paid on your net amount of material
Yeah.
times whatever the price is for that item. And so,
Yeah. Wow.
you know, that's the sort of shit that is,
Wow.
you know,
So it's between like scam and like dangerous and scam at the same time.
yeah, I mean, like, so everyone's out to get everybody, right? It's like,
Yeah.
so even to today, man, I
Mm-hmm.
know guys that will, you know, like, water heaters, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Okay. Yeah.
Like for your shower, your
Yeah.
hot water, right? It's
Right.
like, so it's like a big
Yeah.
cylindrical tank.
Yeah.
And the water, you fill it up with water, it has a heater, and it heats your water, right?
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
like, you have hot shower, right?
Yeah.
So, like, when those things fail, like, it's just scrap metal. You bring it
Yeah.
to a scrapyard,
Yeah.
right? Well, you know what? A lot of dudes do.
Instead of
Given that example,
The water.
Full of water.
Yeah.
and so they fill it with water, they plug it, go over the scale, you know, and then they're getting
Wow.
paid for not only the metal plus the water,
water,
right?
yeah.
So you can see like there's all sorts of different
Yeah. That's.
scams, like so like the customer's trying to scam the scrapyard's trying to scam the
Yes.
the customer.
Yes, yes, yes.
So man, it is
It's
like
a dog eat dog. Like, where is the? Harmony, where
So
is the peace?
I was just like, I told my dad, I'm like, fuck this business, dude.
Yeah.
I am not getting in this business.
But at the same time, I feel like you can get smarter, too, because you have to be alert.
Whew. Well, I mean, yeah,
You can see it coming.
but yeah, but like, should you have
To be doing
assume that
yeah.
that someone's trying to fuck you? You know, like I don't know,
Yeah.
like
Well, it's just like you said earlier. Would you assume you're going there thinking that the scale is calibrated to the right weight to when you come in to do what you need to do? So you're not going to go in and go, hey, listen, is that scale?
Right.
You know. So when they come in with their stuff, they're not going to be asking them. They're hoping that you're being honest and you're walking good.
Yeah.
To yeah, I'm not saying that. Yeah, you're walking good to do your business in a good way, in a good manner, right?
yeah.
So-
I mean, you know, it like I mean, it's just what I knew is like I'm sure that like you guys can talk about your industries and you know like I mean like say like the healthcare industry. Man, I talked to my mom about that. Like
Yeah.
she was in like the hospital business. And there's all sorts of scams that like they run too, you know, is like to bill your insurance, right?
Right.
You know, it's like change this code to that code, and
Right.
because it's a higher
Right.
value
Oh,
code.
I see. Yeah, because you're trusting them. Yeah.
You know, like lawyers, you know, like let's go down that road.
Yeah.
It's like so like they, you know, like they say they charge by like the 15 minutes or whatever, and like
Right.
they just keep rounding it up or whatever.
The same thing with mechanic. I drop my car just to give you an example. I bring my car to BMW.
Yeah.
They say like, oh, $3,800. Yeah.
Wow.
So I
For
was
what?
like, that was the differential they have to change.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay,
a bunch
that's
of other
a
stuff. I
decent
was like,
sized
that's
job,
crazy.
you know.
So I bring the car to my other mechanic. He was like, no, your car is ready. I say, but I asked you to call me before. They say, how much you gonna pay over there? I was like, almost 4,000. He was like, okay, I can do the whole job for 700.
Oh wow.
He said, like, why they have to change this and that and all the cylinder and all of that? He said, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I'm thinking like, okay, so I trust the business
Yes.
because I'm thinking, okay, they
It's
have a name.
It's a business.
Yeah.
And they do.
so I trust them.
Should I
you
say it? They do walk good business.
You're assuming that, right?
You're assuming.
know? Exactly. I assume that.
And so that's the thing is like it really is in every industry, like but like you know this book was written from my perspective of what I experienced growing up, right? Is like and like so that's very much in your face,
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where the scrap business really gets that bad rap is because it's like right in your face. It's like, oh,
Right.
you guys bought that stuff that someone stole. You know, like so
Right. Okay.
it's like a smoking gun, whereas
Yeah.
like when you go to a mechanic, like it's not really a smoking gun. They're like, well, we quoted you and you chose to pay us that, you know, like so it's not quite like
Yeah.
you know, but obviously like that's more profitability maximization.
Right. Right.
You know, like so could you consider it that they're scamming you? I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
You know, but like you're kind of like you know,
And I mean, that's also hard to tell if someone did steal something and bring it to you guys. I mean, how are you guys gonna know that
right, right.
it's been stolen?
Yeah,
You know, it's
you know, but and I think we get into that in this chapter.
yeah,
Right, where you know, you're kind of like going like, okay, well, have I bought stolen metal? And I'm like, no.
But
Yeah,
how can
'cause
they
how would you
steal
know?
metal?
I mean,
Like from another scrapyard? Or?
No, dude. Like think of like all of like the wires up in the street poles that
Okay.
power everything, right? It's like so if you go up there and you cut those down, right? You can bring those to a scrapyard because they have copper inside of them, and they're gonna pay you for it, right?
Okay.
yeah. And then they're gonna ask you, hey, where'd you get this from?
Well, I mean, like they're supposed to they're supposed to say, oh, okay, like where did you get this wire? Oh, well, you know, I had it in my garage. And how
Yeah.
are they gonna know whether you had it in your garage
Yeah,
or is on
yeah,
the wire?
yeah,
You know, like they don't
yeah.
know, right?
Yeah,
and,
true.
And so that's all I'm saying is that, like, you know, like it's very, you know, clear that like this particular industry that I'm from, you know, there's a lot more opportunity for that sort of gangster stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Whereas like other industries, you know, like yeah, like I mean everyone can scam, you know,
Oh.
in every industry, you know, and like say like the shipping industry, like like we talked about this
Yeah,
before,
yeah,
was the
that's right.
GRI,
Yeah.
general rate increase.
Yeah.
So like when we ship all the time overseas, and our steamship line, like the boat that we get on,
Yeah.
right? Like they send us an email. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a GRI next week,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and the GRI is like $1,000 per container, and we're
Right.
like, well, how did you
Come
come up with that
Yeah,
number?
yeah.
And they're like, oh well, you just got to take it.
So you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
So.
They're like, well, we're the only show in town, so what do you want to do? Like.
Yeah.
How do you react?
Well,
I would lose my freaking mind, honestly.
Yeah, if all of a sudden
And
your
I
rent.
want to insult the person.
Yeah,
but
like-
that's not gonna arrange the situation or
Right.
do good for the business.
And so you like then you start to speak their language and you go, oh, can we mitigate that GRI? Can we mitigate that GRI?
Which mean-
Like it's essentially like their way of talking to like, put it on hold or not.
All at once or.
not implement the fee. Like
Okay.
basically you're basically saying please don't
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
mitigate. So you speak the language.
So you also take the situation, you just like you understand it. So it's like a politician then, basically. You have to be like smarter, or
Hey, didn't we just talk about tariffs?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we just talked about tariffs. Like tariffs, Donnie's slapping 20% on Chinese goods
25 on Canadian
and Mexican,
and Mexican.
right? And so, you're like, well, what is that all about? Is like, so someone has to pay it. Someone has to pay it. And so usually that someone is the consumer.
Consumers. It's going to go to the consumer. And then
Yeah.
what are you going to do as a consumer?
If you got no option. I
Yeah.
mean, like, let's face it. Like, we've become so used to cheap shit from China.
Mhm.
Everything here is from China, man.
Yep.
And it's all just made cheaply. We buy it for 99 cents and we're happy. But guess what? Those days are going to be gone pretty soon, man.
Yeah.
And like, so I understand, like, on the one point is like, well, we want to make more goods in America,
Right.
make America great again, right? But like it people are actually going to suffer because of it,
Of course they are.
because if you want to buy an American made product, do you think it's going to be cheaper than China made product or more
Of course not,
expensive,
Yeah, of course.
right?
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. Wow. So how long did your dad have the business in the scrap business? How many years did he?
I mean, like
Go
ever
for
since
it.
I was a kid,
Yeah.
like, and so I mean, it was kind of like that was part of like the whole Jewish people that
Yeah.
came over to North America in the early 1900s. Is like we were not allowed to work. No one would hire us, and so you're like, well, we need to feed our family,
Yeah.
and so what can we do? And so that's where the
Is that where
scrap
they-
business started.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So like yeah,
I
like
didn't
when
know
you
that.
look back, even my great grandfather who came over from Russia was in the scrap business.
Right.
And like so it's just like you just had to do what you had to, to survive, man. And like it's like so like that's why when you look around the scrap business, it's primarily Jewish,
Right.
which is just because it was desperation, man. And so yeah, like I mean that was a big part of like my upbringing, and like that was a big part of like why I was like I can't do this, man.
Yeah. But then you ended up.
And here I am
Here
today.
you are,
I'm
yeah.
knee deep in the scrap game,
Yeah, but you're coming with a bit different spin on it though, because of what you've seen growing up in that industry. You're coming to make a difference and just saying it doesn't have to be that way.
Like I mean like it's just like you got to ask the question, man. We always say that. Just ask the question is like,
Yeah.
why are we doing something this way?
Yeah.
Right? And like if nobody asks that question, then it stays the same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can ask that question and go, hey, like why do we have to do it this way?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we just have to do it that way. No.
Oh,
why?
Oh, it's the worst words in business. We've always done it that way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's
It
not
doesn't
being,
mean like this is the best way.
Yeah, well, there you go. I was just about to say, it doesn't mean it's productive, right? But because we've been doing it that way for so long, everybody think it's normal. But
So that's like, I mean, like, this goes back to what we've been dealing with the students,
Yeah.
like, right, is like, so all of the, universities and colleges
Yeah.
are teaching about profitability maximization
Yeah.
in all of their classes, and like, nobody's asking the question.
Questions. Yeah.
So, like, we've talked about that. We've talked about, like, well, why doesn't someone challenge academia?
Right.
Why doesn't someone say, like, let's just stop talking about profitability and maximization. Let's talk about giving value to the customer.
Yeah.
And so then you got to jump that over to the actual industries that are out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It's like this mechanic, is like, you should go to him and go, hey, man, like, I know that you guys are big old BMW and you guys think you're the king or whatever, but that's outrageous what you quoted me. And like, so until someone tells them, or until someone inside questions
Yeah.
why they're doing it, they're going to do it.
Continue on. It's going to continue on because nobody's.
Actually, I did.
Okay, good for you.
I did call back. So now the mechanic is fixing my car, but I called back BMW. I said like, okay, how come like they quote me, and then this is what you quote me,
Right.
and he said like, what the guy say? He was actually the manager because I asked for the manager after
Good for
35
you.
minutes on the phone.
Wow.
Yeah, 35 minutes on the phone. It's like, and he was like so much in a rush. No, hello, no, thank you.
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, hello. I was like, oh, hi, this is Noah, but okay, what's your blah, blah, number? And after maybe like 3 minutes, okay, give me a second. Okay, so, and then I say, oh, how come, that's not to be, you don't have to be, that doesn't need to be replaced.
Right.
You want to replace it? It was like, sir, you're free to, what did he say? His word was like, you're free to bring your car basically anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
So,
That was it.
Pretty much.
yeah, that was pretty much like, hey, you're not happy? That's how I understand
Go
it.
fuck yourself.
Yeah,
is
like
what he
if you're not
said.
happy, just go somewhere else.
yeah.
That's
right.
it.
Right. So there's no care
No, not at all.
for you as a customer who has purchased this vehicle that costs so much to repair
Yeah.
the parts on it.
No, he didn't care at all.
You didn't feel loved. You didn't feel.
I honestly wanted to insult the guy,
Yeah.
but at the same time, he probably never saw my car,
Right.
and I gonna bring like that sensation, like not hate, but
Mm-hmm.
it just like when you say like, hey, fuck you, or you
Right.
argue with someone,
Right.
you bring something
That
and say-
negative energy towards.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
bring bad energy. I don't
Yeah.
want that.
Right. Right.
Just like, you know what, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And then instantly I try to think about something else. Hey, this is the issue. This is
Yeah.
the problem. I call back the guy. Okay, just fix the car. Don't worry about it. Go
Yeah.
ahead. But I didn't want to bring that.
Negative
much.
energy. Right.
Yeah.
Transfer that negative energy from him to you. Right.
Exactly.
Good call. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's a good call on your part there for not transferring that negative energy
I
to
don't want.
yourself.
I had it,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to keep it too much.
You release it. Yeah. Let
Yeah,
it go.
release it, yeah.
Release it. Let it go. Let it go.
Otherwise, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
I'm gonna argue with the guy and
Yeah.
put a bad review and all stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel more bad.
That's
Right.
right.
Oh yeah,
know?
and like, that's the thing about these days with like the internet and like the review
Oh,
of,
it's-
of
oh, man,
all
it's
of
so
these
quick.
different businesses.
Oh, man.
And I think you and I talk about this all the time. Is just like, well, you have to empathize a little bit with like the waitress or the waiter or whatever happened at wherever you were,
Yeah.
and like you can't just be like that keyboard warrior and be like,
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
fucking suck, don't ever do da da da, and like it's just like, why did you just like you said, like they just they ruined their day
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they're typing that, they're so angry and they're so worked up
Yeah.
that like, man, you just wasted your day too.
Yeah.
And you're putting that negative energy
Yeah.
inside of your system that doesn't need to be there.
So
Right.
so what do you say? You're like, give them a break, right?
Hey, listen, I don't want you to hack and spit in my food. So I'm gonna talk to you and say, now, for me, like if something is wrong, I say, listen, could you ask the cook if he can butterfly my sausages for me if I'm having breakfast? Just ask him, because I don't know what kind of mood he or she is in.
Yeah.
So if I said, remember what I said to you. Don't go there and you're representing me. Ask them if it's okay. Ask them if it's okay. And 9 out of 10, they say sure, because I didn't send a negative energy. And if something is wrong, say, listen, you know what? It's good, but could you cook it up just a little bit more because that's my preference.
Hmm.
That I like it that way. So that way you're not trying to put the blame on them. You're putting it on yourself, saying because this is my preference.
Right.
I want it a little bit more well done. So he cooked it to what the specs that he thinks.
What he likes.
Right.
Right.
So I say you could ask him if he does in mind to cook it up a little more. And if he has a trouble doing it, I'll come to the back of the kitchen and I'll cook it myself because I used to, own a restaurant and cook, so I can
done
come
a
in there and do
couple
it.
things,
If I don't,
yeah.
because I don't want to give him no pressure, because who knows what kind of day people go through. So we have to take that in consideration. And
So that's the thing
you
is
know.
like so instead of like leaving like that bad review,
Yeah.
just don't leave it at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, mom and dad used to say, if you ain't got nothing good to say,
Don't
say
say it.
anything at all.
Yeah.
Don't say anything at all.
So like that's a thing I don't think that was taught to this generation
Yeah.
per se, because man, like there's so many freaking stupid little negative reviews. Like I was buying a shirt the other day on the internet, and you always see like,
Yeah, I did.
like the reviews,
Yeah.
and I go, okay, let's see what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, the shirt was too big. I'm like, you gave them a bad review because the shirt was too big.
We'll get a smaller size.
You get a smaller size. like
I'm just saying.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
The shirt was too big. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's like traveling. Now you're trying to find a hotel. You're looking up. You see all these reviews. It's good to kind of look at some of them, but you have to kind of weigh the options of what is being spoken and said. I mean, how was your attitude when you were there?
Yeah.
How did you handle it? Because that will determine, how the outcome is going to be to why you're writing this stuff. So for me, it's like, you kind of skim through it, weigh your option, and then you get there and you go, wow, it's nothing compared to what they were saying.
Yeah.
Because it's how you, as an individual, deal with the situation.
True.
So
Well, and like that's the thing is like, so like this is what we're talking about here is like, it's like we have the choice as consumers, right?
Right.
It's just like the BMW situation. You're like, okay, I got your quote, thank you, I'm gonna go ask another guy for a quote.
yeah,
It wasn't in the ballpark. I'm
Right.
gonna go with this guy.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you guys that your number was pretty crazy. They
Right.
didn't care.
you're right.
But so what happens is like, so then if 9 out of 10 people do the same thing that you did, guess what? BMW's out of business.
True.
Right? And so that's the beautiful thing is like we have that power.
You have the power.
So don't do your reviews. Just don't bring your business to that business. Go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because why am I going to go support a place when I know that I'm being treated this way?
Totally.
I'll go somewhere else.
But at the same time, if you don't leave a review, then the other person, let's say you see like 5 review, 500 people. If I take two extreme, 500 reviews,
Yeah.
they're all so good. And then when you go to that business, well, it's not that good.
Again,
So
like
you're
I,
thinking like, hey, why no one saying like, oh, that was not that good?
maybe you should
Are they
think.
lying,
Maybe,
or
no, well,
they-
maybe you should think about maybe it's you, because how was your attitude? How was your dealings? If 20 people are saying it's good, and you're going there and you're having a bad one, well, maybe you should look at yourself and go, well, if 20 people are saying it's good and you're the only one saying something's wrong, you need to evaluate yourself and take a look. How did I handle it?
Take what the ooh.
Take that word to come.
Ooh, the R word. The R
I
word,
don't want to
man.
curse. I don't want to say that
Oh,
R
man.
word. But again, it all depends on how you want it to have. Even though I know they do a bad job and they come out, I try to make them feel good. I try to take away that pain from them and place it upon myself, because easy for me to absorb that into my body and transfer into a different energy. Because if I give that to that person, they may not be able to deal with it, even though it's the truth. Even though it's the truth.
Well, and I think like one of the cool things that you told me that you do often is tell someone that they're appreciated.
Every single day, every minute as I breathe and I walk and I get up every day, I say that every day. I tell them, I said, I appreciate you. I said, I know you don't hear this very often because you all hear all the bad stuff, but I just want to let you know, listen, thanks for being here today. Because if you weren't here today, I couldn't get my coffee, and I'd probably go to work and be tired and might be angry. But I want to thank you for getting up in the morning and being here today, because I don't know what your day might have been. You might have to take the bus, but I just want to let you know I appreciate you're here. And the smile on their face, like of appreciation, just changes their day.
Yeah.
Than me coming there and being an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an asshole, but I'm a nice guy too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want the asshole guy to come out. I want the nice guy to shine. So I try to put the asshole guy in the back to when it's really needed, if I really need him. But I rather not bring him out because he's not a very nice guy.
Well,
I don't even like him.
And
Yeah, true.
yeah, we don't we don't like that
I
side.
don't. Yeah.
I've seen that side of
Oh
Dylan.
yeah, it's not good. I don't like him.
But what you did
And
for
you
that,
probably don't like yourself when you're doing this.
That's
too,
right. I feel horrible.
well, I mean, you get something out of it though. You know, you do.
Yes.
Like you still get something out of it. Like you're like because it's built up anger and tension, and you're getting that release. But then like so you release it.
Yeah.
But then like soon thereafter you feel bad.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
like so it's like
Yeah.
an instant gratification of like a release of angry energy or whatever.
Yeah.
The guilt come right after.
And then like right after, then you're like, oh, that was stupid.
Why I
yeah,
did.
yeah. This is exactly what I do. I can totally rely. If a customer's like is being like a headache,
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what? Let me give you your money back. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Don't ever come here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just like a
You're
like a
wasting
piece
my
of work.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just buy.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just
Au revoir.
au revoir. Exactly.
Au revoir.
Instantly, I go, I transfer you, and then I don't say it, but I'm thinking, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
But right after, I'm thinking,
Did I do that right?
Did I do that right?
I don't think Bill Gates will handle the business this way. You know, I always like keep thinking about like,
Yeah.
how like someone like way more successful than me will react.
Right.
I don't
Right.
think
Well,
Elon Musk would do that.
Well, he
Yeah.
probably would.
He probably does.
Yeah,
you just you just don't hear about it.
It's
You
called
think so?
it's called being diplomatic. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, diplomatic. Yeah,
Okay.
but I think it's a better way. Just to,
Well, like I mean, like again, there's so many different ways to do something, right? There's so many ways to react to something or
Yeah.
not react
Yeah.
to something.
Yeah.
Right. Like so like really like you have like not unlimited ways to react, but like you have several different options, you know, and like so you have to see what feels right.
Mhm.
Okay, and so like you said, you're like, that didn't feel totally right, and so now you have to think of a different way to do it.
But if you're in court, let's say you're in court, and then you can, if the judge saying like, oh, why did you react this way? You can really say like, oh well, what are the fact? Oh well, I didn't feel that way, so I react.
The way that you felt at that
Yeah.
moment in time, you are reacting the way you feel. So, and that happens every day. But then afterwards, you kind of like when you have time to kind of reflect on it, and you look and say maybe I could have handled it a different way.
But how much feeling you have to go into your business to take decision? You know what I mean?
Well, but like you should at least give yourself like take a breath
Yeah.
or say, you know what, I'll call you right back. I'm just in the middle of something, so you can think about it. And then like so if I know that like someone is coming at me like you know, I had a customer the other day was like he wanted me to quote him on some transformers, but we also had that same offer from other people, and I just said, hey, look, you know what, we're getting this offer from a lot of different people, I'm not gonna quote it. And like he tried calling me, and I knew that he was upset.
Mm-hmm.
So now the choice was mine to make whether I wanted to answer that phone call, knowing that he's going to be confrontational,
Right.
or not. Right?
And give him a minute to kind of cool down and.
Right. So I didn't answer it. But then I replied back. I said, hey, you know what? I'm sorry, but like this is just how it is. Is like if I quote you, then this guy's going to ask for another quote, and then it's like
Right.
favoritism.
Right.
And I'd just rather pull myself out of it. You know?
Right. Yeah.
And so the guy's upset at me for doing that, and like so that's how I choose to do business. But I did recognize, and like that's the thing, you know, is like you have to recognize the situation and go, I need to take a break.
Situation awareness.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like, so if someone's coming at you, like, and you're in person with them, and they're yelling at you, you can choose not to respond. You can sit there, someone's yelling at you, and you can just say, I understand.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And I have another question. So, but you choose to do that, to not respond, but that can escalate. So the other person can be like knocking at your door at your company, you know, with the, let's say, with a bunch of other guys, and it's like, hey, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what, you know, that can escalate if you, because if you're doing this, I'm thinking, are you avoiding the situation? Are you avoiding confrontation?
You're just giving it a timeout.
Yeah.
You're just giving it a timeout, a minute for it to breathe, and then you're not ignoring it. You just need to give that breather, right? And maybe that person, hey, they have a lot of issues they have to work out. So if you're going to go beyond that, come in and bang in. If you're not getting a response right away, maybe it's a good thing, right? Because it may turn out different and ugly if I open the door, right? Somebody's going to be dead or somebody's going to be in jail. But I'd rather just give that breather. You go banging on, and then we can talk about it afterward. This is like being in a relationship with your wife or your girlfriend. You get into an argument. It's best to walk away and says, okay.
Don't turn into Ray Rice, man.
Yeah. Just walk away, and just, take a moment to go into your room, and you're not ignoring the situation. And that's what a lot of people we need to do is to, give that break, go into your room, and then you kind of think about it, and then you come back out, and then we can have a conversation. But at least you've given yourself that opportunity to break off. Because your first thing you want to do, someone yelling in your face, you want to
react.
You want to react.
Yeah.
You want to throw some elbows.
And that would be the ego. Like for
Right.
me, if you would say like fuck you, I would say, you know what?
Yeah.
Then fuck you too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. You
Yeah.
know what? I was going to. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said,
I'm done. Yeah.
I'd say, listen, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I'm sorry that you feel that way. You're feeling for them. Even though you're in the right and you could react that way. I'm sorry that you're feeling that way.
So I mean, like, look at what you just said. Is like, so react, ego.
Yeah.
It is like not breathing, not thinking.
Yeah.
It's like, so like this is like our animal brain,
Right.
like that it has hijacked our system. And like, so that's what it is. Is like when you let anger hijack your entire system.
Yeah.
That's where people are in jail for that. People like get in trouble for that. And so all we're trying to get to here is like the premise of Walk Good Business is to stop and think and feel. Does this feel right? Like the guy at BMW,
He didn't feel good to you.
like you asked him that question and he got he wasn't confrontational with you, but he knew what. Like, you're not the first person that told him that,
Yeah.
right?
He looks like he was ready. He was like, hey, you're not happy?
Yeah, it's okay. We already know. And so that's all I'm saying is like, so someone's driving him. He probably doesn't feel good about their business practice.
Right.
But it's his boss that is like, well, this
Correct.
is what we do. We gouge people because they bought a premium product, and so they're going to pay a premium price for service and parts.
I like that you said that someone else is driving that behind the scenes, and that's true. A lot of people go into management and go into, so they are being told. And I give you an example of that, of working at a retail store, and they wanted me to become a supervisor. I said, are you sure? I said, hold on for a second before we make that decision, because you're seeing me, how I'm getting along with the employees and the staff, and you're like that. But I said, is corporate ready for me? Because the way my styling is the reason why you're seeing what you're seeing is not the way how they do it. Now, if I come and join your force, are they going to allow me to have that freedom to do it the way how I do it in order to keep that respect and
give value.
And give value.
Ooh.
No, ooh, you said that curse word again. But no, you are going to want me to change. And if I change, then I'm not the person that you saw that you wanted to be in the business. So I have to stay true to myself. So I have to decline. I have to stay with the people. I have to stay with them because I know they're going to look at me and say, who is this guy? Who are you? Well, you saw something good in me. You saw that you wanted that. Well, how did I get that? How did I get that respect from the staff? I earned their respect. I was helpful to them. If they had a problem, I was there. But I can allow you to manipulate me to change that. And that's why I would respectfully says I will decline that position. I'm going to stay where I'm at and be.
Yeah, you didn't fit the culture,
I didn't fit the culture.
right? And so again, like I already know BMW, dude. I could have told you that is like, no, don't get your service done there. You can buy a BMW, sure. Don't service it there. That's crazy, you know. Like, I mean, I have a Ford. I service at Ford. Ford doesn't compare to BMW, and,
Absolutely not.
Service or
and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but so all I'm saying is it's a culture. You know, it's a culture. Is like, so the business owner sets the culture. Like, at the origin of the business,
Yeah.
is set by, you know, someone has to set it.
Yeah.
You know, what do they believe in? What are their morals?
Right. Because by the time you're done, you're going to have no morals. You're going to have nothing because you're going to be stripped from that in order to reprogram to, we want maximization, right? We want you to maximize it.
Yeah.
So I cannot change. And I don't want to change because I earned it not by that method. You saw it and you like it. Great. I'm glad you see something in me that you like. But is corporate office ready for me?
Yeah. Yeah. And,
Who am I gonna be to them? That's the question I'm asking. Who am I?
and the way you talk to them was diplomatic.
Yes. I speak their language.
Okay.
I speak their language in the sense. I said, hold on, before I accept that. So what I additionally also did was I went to.
I feel like this is like super gangster too. You know,
Oh,
I was talking about the
bro.
earlier. It's like, hey, you want
yes.
to speak a language?
Yes.
I speak your language.
Speak your language. Speak their language so you can understand. So what I did on top of that was I went and bought a bunch of gifts, and I used my old Christmas wrapping and I wrapped it all up and I went to work and this is for you. You get one and you get one and you get one, and everybody was like, oh my God, wow, what did I do? I said, I just want to do this to you to let you know how I appreciate when I come to work, how you make me feel, and the respect that you give me. So they were like buzzing. So they saw that. I even went and got one for the management and went to say, yeah, here you go, guys. Yeah. I said, now, my pocket is very small. But I said, corporate's pocket is bigger than mine. But yet I went into my pocket and did what I did. But I said, you see the result that I got from the people, how happy they are. The little things that I did. Little things. I said, are they ready to let me handle it the way I need to handle it?
Well, and again, man, is like, so like this is a like the underlying you know, theme of walk good business. Yeah. It's this, you know, is it abundance or is it scarcity?
Yeah.
You know, and like, so most of the world, BMW, you know, that company, like, they all have like this scarcity mindset where it's just like, if we give something away, it's gone. And like, they don't realize that it all starts from giving, right?
Yeah.
Everything starts
Start from
like just what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You like, they weren't like bars of gold that you're giving to your coworkers. They was just small gifts.
Small little gift.
But they turned around and they were just like,
wow,
they're ready to go to war with you.
Oh,
dude.
they're ready, buddy.
You know?
Yeah, they're ready to go to war. I said, see, it's not the big things. I said, it's the little things that you do for the people will make the people want to go to war for you and have your back. But I said, you have to treat them with that R word that I don't want to say that might be curse word, right? But I'm going to say it anyways. They respected me. They respected my work ethic. They respected that I cared about them as a person, not as a number. And I got more result out of them and I wasn't even a manager, just a regular guy. Just doing a regular
But like, so like,
right?
and that's the key. Let's talk about results. Okay. It's like, so you just said results.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you're looking for results.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, are you going to get better results by starting off giving, or are you going to get by not giving? You know, is like,
It would be by giving.
By giving.
but like, that's the difference, man. It is like, that is not being taught, you know. It's like, so that's where we're trying to show from so many different examples and different angles that giving is the very purpose of what we're doing here on this planet first.
Yeah.
And then if we're talking about business, that's how business works, is you give service. You know, I can't reiterate that more. Is like, so let's talk about the BMW guys, man. Is like, so they're coming from a scarcity point of view. They're not coming from an abundance point of view. Scarcity rips people off. Scarcity puts tennis balls underneath the scale, right? Scarcity, like that, it's greed driven, right? Whereas abundance is generous and sharing and giving.
Yeah, it's never ending.
So let's say if I'm the guy, like now in a real situation, okay? Now I hear that podcast, I hear that video, I see it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, I know what? Fuck, that's so true.
yeah.
So now I'm the guy at the scrapyard putting a tennis ball, under the scale. So what should I do then? How can I go from that mindset to walk good business?
It's in here. Like
It's already part of you.
you know, it is like.
Yeah.
So let's talk about my dad. He was grinding his teeth at night. Maybe it's because he was doing some gangster shit. It wears on you, man. And like I know I can't name names for this guy. He came up to me. He retired several years ago from the scrap business, and he said, "You know, Brad, like, man, the stuff that I pulled when I was running my business, like, I feel horrible about it." You know what I mean? He's like, "Yeah, like I made those gains at that time, you know." And like I scammed this person, I scammed that person just to make more and more money, you know. And like now, years after, he's out of the business.
It haunts him still.
Right? You know, I just go, listen, you had to do what you had to do to provide for your family. Let's leave it. You know?
But moving forward,
yes,
you make the change.
Or you teach
Or you
your
teach.
kids,
Yeah.
don't do what
Don't
daddy
do what daddy
did, you
did.
know?
Right. Right. You give back. So again, you're giving back to your kids by teaching them those valuable lessons for what it is that
But
you
they,
didn't.
they will see but they, I mean, I don't know. If I'm a kid,
Yeah.
I will be following what you're doing, not
Yep.
what you say.
Yeah,
If
like
you're doing
kids
some
model behavior.
Yeah.
Like listening versus just watching. Like they're watching and they're gonna
Oh,
model
there's-
what you do.
Oh,
right?
they're soaking it in. They're soaking it. They're like sponge,
Right.
right? They're like sponge. You think they're not smart and not listening? No, that's when we're alert when we're a kid, right? We don't have no borders or anything like humans that we have now, because we have to put borders up. But as kid, you're free. You're going along the road. Kids will run across the street without even thinking there's a car coming, because that's how, you know.
You see someone that you like, you're gonna go and talk to
Right,
them.
right, exactly, right. So you everybody has it inside of them. We all have two sides. You know when you've done wrong. You know.
So I think like another you were saying is like so you asked the question is like, well, how does the guy know like maybe I should just get rid of this tennis ball? It's like, well, how do you feel? And then bring it to your kids.
Yeah.
But the guy will probably, excuse me to cut you off, but if I remove this tennis ball, I will make way less money.
Uh-huh.
And then
You can sleep
if
at
the
night.
guy have like kids and family, I won't be able to provide for my family now.
Or maybe you just have to work on Sunday, or you have to work later, or
Do what you got to do.
or you gotta do a different business.
Business.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like you can justify gangster shit. You can justify it, and believe me, a lot of people will justify all of the gangster shit that they're doing, and you know, okay, go ahead, like tell us more stories. And then you go, how does it feel in here?
You can't run from your conscience, man.
Yeah.
You can't run from it. You can delay it, but like Brad was saying about that guy, he's been out of the business, but yet it's still there with him.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of that. So you have to make peace with it. You have to make peace with it, or it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So if you don't make peace with it, then I expect it to go away. So people have done wrong, but if you make peace with it, I cannot be mad at you, because at least you recognize and you've made changes to do better. We all make mistakes. We all fall down, but it's when you don't learn from it. That's the problem. But you think you can run from it? No, you'll go to your deathbed with it, and it's gonna haunt you all the way over there.
Yeah,
You gotta release that.
and so that's the thing, man. It really is temptation,
Yeah.
right? It's like so like greed is within that realm of temptation, right? You know, and like so like the path is narrow,
Yeah.
you know, and the road is straight, you
Mm-hmm.
know, so it's straight and narrow. And so I often talk about it as a rope bridge.
Right. Okay.
You know,
Mhm.
like you're walking over this rope bridge, you know, and it's wobbly, you know, but it's straight. And on underneath, like if you jump off, it's temptation.
Yeah.
Like actually, when you're walking on the bridge, like there's things grabbing at your legs and your arms, trying to get you to jump into that river or lake or whatever it's going over, and that's just temptation. And so you're like, well, what is temptation? Well, it's all of that stuff, you know. Like so, if you look at like the 7 deadly sins, right? You know, so it's like sloth, lust, greed, envy, you know, gluttony, you know, like all of these different things. Like I don't know, I always miss like the other two.
Yeah.
But like the point being is that like so greed is one of them, man. And like right in this book we say that greed is humanity's worst trait. You know, so if you take away greed, that takes away a lot of the bad
All the
stuff.
other stuff. Yeah.
Greed,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then people are not gonna come and having to steal your copper pipe from your house or your Cadillac converter from underneath your car, because if people have enough, then they don't have to go do that. But when people don't have, then they have to survive. So yeah, lock up your house.
so it's really like buying into that. Oh, okay. I think I can buy into abundance.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, you know. It's like if everything around you is talking about greed, and your programming is on greed and scarcity,
Yeah.
it's a tough one to jump that channel over to the abundance side. That like, oh no, like if I spend $1, it's gonna come back. That's a hard one for most people to understand.
And I can understand why it's hard for them to understand that.
Right?
Right.
Like they're like, no, I spent the $1, it's gone forever. I'm like, no, it's renewable.
It's abundant.
It's renewable, man. It's
Yeah.
like, well, how? I'm like, so you spend the $1 and you provide service, and then the $1 comes back. But you have to provide the service. If you're not providing service, then you're right.
Well, again, we talk about this in other chapters. And I said, like, if you don't go put in the money in the bank, how can you go and withdraw?
Yeah.
You got to put it in to take it out. But if you,
But no one has ever told us that at school, or
it's not being taught.
even like for me growing up.
Yeah,
I mean, I heard like, oh, you do good,
yeah,
people will do good
yeah,
to you, but that's pretty much it.
yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I think you know, when people do good and bad things happen, they think, oh, see, there you go, you might as well just do bad. No, continue doing good, because you cannot change who you are. Just now, you're just like them.
Especially when someone is doing bad to you,
Right.
and then you have to say, oh, okay, he basically like F me over,
Yeah.
but now I have,
It's tough.
you know, I have to keep doing good now.
That's right.
And then someone else doing the same thing.
Right.
Then it's like, dude,
Because you're going to come across people who are on the same channel as you are, the same wavelength in doing good. You got to go through a lot of crap in order to get to the cream and to get to the goodness. You got to go through a lot of crap, right?
Well, and it's really all a test.
It's all a test. So it depends. Are you going to change yourself now? No, you continue on doing exactly what you're doing and stay consistent doing good. Even though they're doing terrible thing to you, it's not a your problem, it's a their problem. So I go pray for them. Hopefully they find a way, because it's not my problem. Because I can do good to them regardless, even though you're doing garbage to me. It's okay.
So like again, it just comes down to is like it's a test.
Yeah.
Like so whatever you're faced with, you have to realize that it's a test on how you're going to react.
Not about him or me, about you. How are you going to handle
But
it?
for how long then?
Dude,
Until the
know,
day you die.
Yeah.
That's the
Until
thing.
the
like,
day you are no longer breathing on
sometimes
this
it
earth.
kills me, you
I
know,
know, but that's another test.
So you have like one test,
Yeah,
and then another test.
that's right.
I'm tired.
There's
okay.
many different levels.
But another test again.
That's right.
But guess what? It just
I'm thinking,
it-
honestly, sometimes, do you love me?
Yes, he
with
does.
all the things
Yes.
that I do good?
Yes. Yes.
it means that you can handle more.
That's right. Because some
The
people
more
can't.
tests that you get, it means that he knows that you're different,
You can
that
handle
you're a smart person, and you can handle it. And you're like, man, I just want to chill. And he's just like, there's no chill for you.
because there's a purpose for you.
Right.
Because some of people can't handle certain things,
And that's why they sit on the couch and smoke joints all day.
right?
And like nothing, they get nothing accomplished, and they never get anything. And that's their. So then he stops testing them. He's like, all right,
I'm done with it.
I'm moving on to somebody else. And then he finds you, and he's just like, ooh, this guy is smart.
Because there's a light in you.
Right.
There's a light that is in you that, just like I was saying about how they saw me and they wanted me to become a supervisor, because they saw the light in me. They saw that. They saw that goodness that is pouring out. So they wanted a piece of that light.
They thought they wanted.
They
it.
thought they wanted
Yeah,
the light, but it says this light is not for sale. This light is not for sale. You can't change it, and I won't allow you to change it, because then who am I if I then now come into your program? Now your program made to be you. I'm going to be me, because look at the result I got. I don't need you to get that result, because the light is in me that has been given to me.
Right, giving.
It's been given to me to take it to now share it every single day. So that's why every day, it doesn't matter who could be the paper boy. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming and delivering my paper. Have a great day. See? It's in you. You have that light. So when that light is there, you're going to be able to handle more. Where some people, we have to work to get that light. We have to reprogram them so they can see that light, right?
Yeah, but like it's hard.
It's hard.
I'm not gonna lie. It's
course
like
it
so,
is.
so what you just said there. I'll often say that. I'm like, you know.
Is it worth it?
Yeah,
She got to continue on.
Yeah,
I was mad the other 2 weeks ago. It
Yeah.
was like Murphy's Law, done and boom and boom and boom, and like just like a few days ago, and
Yeah.
the cars, and I just sold the other car.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, okay, I love that car, and then boom, something else. I'm thinking like, so I was in the kitchen, and my wife, she was like a little bit stressful because she don't used to see me like that.
Yeah.
She know like I'm always like happy and bubbly, but she was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, I don't know. I feel like God is like punishing me for something I don't even know. I do good.
right.
Like you can ask around. No one hate me.
right.
I do good to people. Like,
but
do
that
you hate me?
that's the difference, right? See, he's thinking it's a punishment.
Yeah.
But it's a test.
Yes. It's not a punishment. It's not a punishment. You're interpreting it as a punishment, but it's not a punishment.
Like what you want everything just to be easy?
Then you have no appreciation for it.
No, because you know what? Every time that I do have like a something like really hard or like a big challenge, I always fix it. But whenever I fix it, I gain way more. Let's say someone say like we want 8 people. I'm just
Yeah.
like 8 people here is just not possible.
Yeah.
You need to buy new camera. It's too much. But I would say like, so why I cannot do 8 people? Because it's impossible. Who say that it's impossible?
Right. There you go.
So now I'm thinking, okay, what about if I rent a material? What about if I buy a new microphone because I need it anyway? Boom, I did 8 people. So now 3, 4, 5 people, it's easy.
Right. It's okay.
So now I'm thinking like, okay, so that issue become like, after that challenge,
You
it's
solved
just so good.
Because you solved that test. And then there's another one that comes after.
Well,
you.
I mean,
get it.
like that was just a goal,
Yeah.
right? It's like so we all know that like when you achieve a goal, you feel wonderful,
Yeah.
right? And like so like that was a relatively small goal, and so like it gives you the dopamine, like it feels good, I did it, It's like so you keep setting your goals higher and higher, and then like as you reach those goals, man, like it's But there's gonna be all sorts of tests along that
It's
road.
a part of the program.
Because it makes it so much sweeter,
Sweeter.
dude. Is like
Yeah.
so I feel like, and I was explaining this to my mom the other day. I'm like, you know that you're closer to the top of the mountain when it gets harder. Okay? Like when you're climbing a mountain, it's like gradual upslope,
Yeah.
right? Gradual. Then when you start getting closer to the top, it starts to go fucking vertical, dude. And that's when it's hard, and that's what knocks people down the mountain because they're like, "Fuck this! It's too hard. I'm
But
out."
If you stop, then you just like going all
You
down.
gotta slide all the
you
way
will
back
never
down.
see what's
Yeah.
going after.
But you might like, and again, this comes from Napoleon Hill's book Think and Grow Rich. Is like the guy that's like digging for gold, and he just couldn't find the vein. He sells all of his gear. Another guy buys the gear and calls a geologist.
Yeah.
And goes, "Hey, where's the vein?" He's like, "Oh, it's right
There.
there."
Bam. See?
But like people get to that peak part where like they're like, "Oh man, it's too
give up.
fucking hard.
Oh, I give up.
I can't do it. Like I'm working 24 hours. I have no money. Like people think I'm crazy or whatever." And they give up. And so that's what drives me bananas is when they say 50% of entrepreneurs or 50% of small businesses fail. And I'm like, stop using the word fail. It's quit. They quit. They got to that hard part and they quit. They were almost there. They were almost like, dude, like the next week it was going to fucking hit. And they quit. And they just added to that statistic. They're part of that 50% that quit, not failed. They quit. Right?
Let's use the right terminology. They
I
Quit.
love that.
right?
I
Right?
needed to hear that.
Right? I'm telling you, because when you're getting up the mountain, you think it's going to be easy? No, right? Like Brad said, below you're gradually climbing. That's when the true test comes, is that you're going to continue on with it and stay consistent with it, and you're going to win, right?
How bad do you want
How
it?
bad do you want it? How bad do you really want it? Obviously, you don't want it that bad.
Yeah, you're going to quit.
I ain't quitting. You might as well just get off the planet then. You might as well quit because there's gonna be all this craziness happening around us every single day. So we just quit? No, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on going until the time.
And here's another one. If it was easy, everybody would be
We'd be
doing
doing
it.
True. That's so true.
I always say that.
yeah,
So true.
Always
That's-
say
but it's
that.
true.
I see a lot of friends. They say like, I would never do what you're doing.
it's
You're like,
so
that's
many-
why you're making 50 G's a year, man.
Exactly. They say like, oh, but money is not everything. Blah blah blah. It's like,
but it's not the money because you putting the love in it, and the money comes when you're putting
Yeah.
the love
Oh,
in it.
dude,
It's
passion.
not about people putting the money first. It's a wrong reason. Your reasoning is wrong. You got to put it because you love, and you're gonna give that love to that situation. And we talked about that earlier just now.
give.
It's about giving.
And then
To
it,
receive.
then it comes back in all these different weird ways. Man.
Right.
It comes
Not-
in weird ways,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, I got plenty of examples. We had like a company call us the other day, because like we put them in our kids book, right? And, like we just like the color of their cranes,
Yeah.
And we like asked them, we're like, is it okay
Hey.
if we put you in our kids book? And they're
Yeah.
like, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, that was so nice of them to let
Yeah.
us put their thing in our kids book. Nowadays, they're like coming to us. They're like, man, can we give you guys money?
Can we? Right.
And we're like, whoa, man.
What did he do?
So what did we do? We gave,
it comes back.
but we didn't expect it. And then like 2 years later, they're like, hey, we want to give you guys money. We're like, well, why? Like we asked them why. We're like, why? They're like, because we want to be the crane dudes in your books.
There you
And
go.
we're like,
There you go.
oh, That's cool.
There you go.
Like,
Yeah. See? I mean,
because we did not expect it at all.
again, because when you have expectation when you do something, then you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Right.
Do things because you want to do it, not because you're expecting something. And guess what? Things are going to come your way because you take out the expectation of it. If you're doing it for that, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. So you might as well just quit.
Well,
because,
like
you
that.
know,
That's like having like a garage sale or like
Yeah.
like a yard sale or whatever. It's like all of your used shit, right? And like you could just give it away to people, but you're like, no, I'm gonna hold a sale and sell my used shit, and it's like. So like there's a string attached,
Yeah,
is
right.
like so that's the thing
Set
is
it
like,
free.
like when you're given, man, like you can't have that little string attached to it, like here Noah, take this, and then like you're like, but
Right.
you gotta do me a favor, and it's
Yeah.
like
Right.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it for
It's
you.
not really giving. Then.
That's right. There you
So
go.
you're giving, but you're expecting something.
Expectation. Do it because you want to do it. And like Brad said, it's going to come in many different weird ways that is you're not expecting for it to come back and reward you with it because you're doing it for the right reason. But as soon as you put expectation on it, you already lost the game already.
and so
Right.
that's part of the climbing that mountain
yeah.
and these tests that we're talking about, these challenges that he gives you, and you're like, fuck, dude, just chill out, man. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
give
good
me-
with
give,
the-
Give me a break.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
It's
good
been
with the
a long
tests.
time now.
Yeah.
But like these are the little rewards, and sometimes they're very big rewards.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, like this was a big reward, and so you're
That's
kind
fantastic,
of you're
yeah.
kind of like, okay, it then you're like, I can handle more tests now because you got the reward.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh,
Well,
you know?
well, again,
Yeah. You give me some, I'm just like, okay, like I'm feed now. I'm okay now.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
It's okay.
yeah,
okay, now I've probably said this before in one of the episodes. It's like you're a farmer. You're planting the seed. You don't sit there and go, well, you ain't growing.
where is it? Where is it?
Why you not coming up?
Yeah.
No, your job is to plant the seed and keep planting it. And if you keep planting it, by the time you turn around and look, there's rows of crops coming. But you spent all that time looking for it to happen and you didn't keep on planting. You got to keep on giving, keep on doing.
Yeah, keep
And
your
then
keep your head down.
that reward will come because you're not wasting time. You're giving to the earth and the whole. Put that seed in because you're doing it for
Now-
So you keep giving and give love and.
give it.
but
But at the same time, you're expecting something.
No, that's your problem right there. Expectation. We just talked about that. You're expecting.
But if you love the plant and then you put some water and all.
It's not your job to expect.
Here's the trick, right? It's like so like expectation is part of that, yes. But like really what it is like so there's belief, and then there's trust.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, belief is maybe. Trust is then expectation.
I'm trusting
See?
that it's going to.
So if you trust,
Yeah.
like this is the and this will
tricky
help
part.
you as
Yeah.
well is like so what you're doing right now or your what your business has become, you have to trust that it's taking you somewhere really cool, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't want to trust that it's taking you somewhere really shitty,
Right.
right? So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you have to you can't
Can't
just believe
You gotta trust.
like because if you're like I
Yeah.
believe that I'm doing something cool,
Right. Yeah.
you're not totally sold.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can jump over to trust, then you can start expecting things. Then you can start expecting growth because you trust.
Because look, the expectation is a part of it already. You don't have to want to expect it. It's already a part of the makeup of what's gonna come with that trust and that belief. Because you already believe and
Can
trust
you give
it.
me like an example, like a tangible example, so I can really understand the difference between believe and trust?
Mm.
So let's take this podcast business.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that's gonna happen, but if I say like, I really believe, but if I say like I just really believe that's gonna happen, I'm just like, it's like almost believe is just like I hope,
Right.
But if I say like I trust, and then I think I'm answering my own question.
Yeah.
That is good. That is
Folks, you see that magic that just happened right here? You see that? You see? That's what I'm talking about.
We just crawl into your head.
Oh, you see what I'm talking about? You just answered your own. See?
But if I trust,
Yeah.
that remove all those doubts,
That's right.
and then
That's right.
I'm 100%. Because if I just believe,
That's
I
right.
won't put 100%.
Because dude, like I'll go through it too. Is like
Yeah.
I'll have like these moments of like, and you have to take in these moments and look at them and throw them out because they're stupid, you know. But it's just part of being a human being.
Yeah.
Is that like we have like these different instincts because we have still an animal brain to us, and so it's like that fight or flight instinct, right? And like so when you have these thoughts of like, oh man, like I don't know how I'm gonna do this, or this isn't gonna work out, or like, oh man, like I don't know what to do, right? It's like, so when you have those thoughts, I don't know how I'm gonna make payroll, I don't know if we're gonna, you know, like when those thoughts hit, that is on the belief side, right? And like, but I'm on the trust side, you know, like, and you gotta jump to that trust side and go, well, I trust that I'm doing something good for people. I'm providing a good service. And so therefore, you know, those thoughts are crazy thoughts. And then like, but like, it will happen though, is like, man, like year one, you're like, oh wow, we made it through a year. I didn't think we would. And then like you keep doubting, you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this month. And then you make it through that month. And you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this month. And then you make it through
You
that
just
month.
gotta keep trusting.
And then you make it through another year two, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through year three. And like so eventually,
Because so much shit going on, like so much,
I mean,
just life at the same time, because it's
yeah.
just not business.
That's
because
right. Yeah.
business is just a part
Yeah.
of life.
That's right.
So,
Because life is happening around
Yeah.
the business.
yeah,
So, you
Yeah.
know,
exactly.
you gotta believe and trust. You gotta believe and trust that what you're doing is for the good. Once you put a little doubt, well, you know, I hope so.
no,
Maybe.
but like those are, dude, those thoughts are normal.
Yeah.
Like everyone has those thoughts. It is then just your ability to kind of have like a fly swatter and
Yeah.
Oh,
Get out of here.
right.
Get
So
outta
so
here.
when the thought comes in, you recognize it and you go, bam, get out of here.
so you don't like to yourself saying like, oh no, this is not happening, and you know, like positive attitude. You actually like, okay, this is happening. I have this in my head, but basically you just say like, thank you, but go away, and then
Perfect way to say it, man. Like you're like, thank you for that crazy thought. I appreciate you, and now get the fuck out of my head. You know?
Because not every thought that comes inside your head needs to be there and needs to be analyzed.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Totally,
It's
man.
like I'm driving here, I'm thinking like, my God, there's so much accident right here.
Yeah.
And these intersections that I saw that on video. Someone like did a huge accident.
Yeah.
So okay, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna have an accident.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's focus.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is like, you know, you'll see a lot of like these, you know, influential people out there like Tony Robbins and whatever, like all like, oh, you have to be all positive and everything's wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's not reality.
you're fucking high, dude. Like, and so like, but what I think he's probably got to at this point in, you know, Tony's career or whatever is he has that ability to fly swat out those negative thoughts because he knows that they're crazy, right? But you're gonna have them.
Yep. It's a
Because
part
it's like
of,
someone have like cancer, you know, and saying like, I don't have cancer, I don't have cancer, I don't have cancer, I don't have cancer.
Yep. It'll go away.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Or I think like he was talking about Tony Robbins, and then he was like, I have no weeds, I have no weeds in my garden, I have no weeds in my garden. Oh, they're still here. You know, so yeah, but it's like positive attitude. That was like watching yourself in a mirror saying like, oh, I'm not sick, I'm not sick, I'm not sick. But you're sick.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about trying to like heal yourself through positive thoughts. No. It's just like when you like, so like paranoia is like a thing, you know, like having paranoid thoughts, you know, and so it's just like, if you can recognize that they're just paranoid thoughts and they're not real, and you can swat them away, then you get to just calm. Like if you remove the negative thoughts or the paranoid thoughts, then you have calm thoughts.
But all those thoughts are normal in a business too.
Yes.
Like let's say you have a business and then you're gonna have all those negative thoughts. They're coming, and then you just have to.
Swat them away. Get out of here. Get out. Do some karate chop.
well, then you kind of step into some magic, is what I kind of call it. Is like when you can kind of just let go of that, you know, and go, well, we made it through, like I was saying, like we made it through last month, we made it through this month, we made it through this month. Like eventually you just have to go, we're going to continue making it.
Right.
You know, and then like those kind of thoughts tend to they go away.
Yeah, they subside.
And this is how you transition from belief to trust.
Yeah, it is like, because like then that is a release of that maybe things are going to work out to.
I know they are going to work out. I know they're going to work out. See?
You know, it sounds so much like a relationship. Like, let's say, like my wife, I would talk personal, but my wife, she was like, for me, I'm not stressed out on a situation.
Yeah.
I'm okay, you know. I know that's going to happen. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But she will be like so stressed out. But if I did have like a lot of employees, that employee will stress out. The other employee is like so stressed out.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, how can I put a barrier saying, how can I be strong enough to just trust? You know, because they all have their belief. Because now we're talking about business, but they all have their belief.
Yeah.
How it doesn't affect me in order now they broke my trust. And I'm thinking, fuck. Maybe we're not going to make it next month. You know what I mean?
See, like then you just went to belief, you know, and like it like that's what I was saying. It's like there's a magic to it. There is a magic to it. I guarantee you, because like there's stuff that happens, and I just go, man, how did we get that contract?
How did we get that?
Like, why is this big company calling us? And like, you have to stop asking yourself that question, because it's just the magic of the universe. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and just embrace it and know that it's coming from a good place for what it is that you put out into the universe that is answering your requests.
Well, and so right. I was talking to my aunt the other day. She's 86. She's 86 years old, 86. And you know, and I'm explaining to her, like, you know, yeah, like we started like writing these kids books, and like they're like just going crazy, you know, and I just go, you know, I don't get why me, you know, and you know what she said? She's like, why not? So you gotta remember, she's 86-year-old, you know, she's been through a lot of stuff, right? Yeah. A lot of experience, you know, and so I just paused and I was just like, what did you just say? She's like, yeah, like, why not?
Why not you? So,
you know, like that's a big part of, like, you know, running a business is like, you're like, man, like, you know, how come I got this client? Like, why am I so busy? Like, why is this growing? And like, why is this happening? And like, why am I getting exposure? Why do people want to cut me a check? Like, why did I hire more people? Like, why? Like, you keep asking. And she just said, well, why not?
Why not?
And so I'm like, kind of like, yeah, but I'm just like a scrap guy. And she's like,
no, you're not just a scrap guy.
But I was expecting someone else to do it. You know, like one of my friends would do it. Or one of your relatives would do, you know, and why not you?
Yeah. That's a good, wow.
So why not? No.
Why not you?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why can't you be successful?
Yeah.
You're like, well, I came from a poor family.
So that's even the more reason for you to
And you know what? Like the poor family thing, I always like whenever I have friends in France when they come to my home before,
Yeah.
they just like, bro, and you turn out like pretty well. Like I
Yeah.
was maybe 20 years old.
Yeah.
Like you're not in jail, nothing happened.
Yeah.
They just like, oh fuck,
Right.
congratulations.
Yeah.
But my wife from the Philippines,
Yeah.
who's living extremely poor, she came home. She was just like, wow, you're rich.
See, she so different levels.
Different levels. But me,
Yeah.
when I come over there,
Yeah.
I went over there, I was just like,
You're like, whoa. Y'all
There's
y'all live in
water?
the forest,
Yeah.
man.
it's worse than that, I swear. Like every like 2 years, everything is destroyed because of the water.
Yeah. The water, or the
Oh, shit.
hurricane, or
Everything,
the
yeah.
flood, or
Oh,
everything.
oh, the
Their home is
typhoons.
probably like, let's say 3 times this place.
Phew.
Yeah, and then they have like the fridge, and you can't touch the water. If you do touch the water with the fridge and the electricity, you'll be, like,
OMG,
electrocuted.
dude.
No.
Yeah, so that's where you go. All right.
So she's like, "Hey, your place is good."
Yeah.
See.
So
Perspective.
it's how like what you appreciate, and so like that's the thing is like is like, man, when you have nothing, right? When you go down to base zero,
Yeah.
like everything you appreciate,
Yeah.
you just appreciate more,
Yeah.
right? It's like, so that's what we were talking about. I think the last one is like, man, like, hey, all you rich folks out there, why don't you try being poor for a week?
Oh, they wouldn't survive.
You know?
See.
Well, but like I think like what I'm maybe not, but I'm saying is like what would come out of that is like a greater appreciation for everything.
For what you have.
I mean,
Yeah.
like your wife, dude.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you think you have nothing? She's like, take a look at my shit.
Yeah.
We
Take
got
a look
nothing.
at my backyard.
You know,
It's kind of crappy.
don't
You
touch the
can't
water.
open that water. Open the fridge now.
You know,
It's so true. That's
Yeah.
why she could not understand why when she came here, like they had like homeless people, but like fat, or she could not.
Yeah.
She's thinking like it's
like they should
it's
be
just
dead, man.
impossible.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
It's
they should.
impossible.
Um,
And then she will be like appreciative of everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
so like so that's the thing is like so you can kind of get into that, you know, group. You know, it's a comfortable group.
Right,
It's
right.
like
Yeah.
we got nothing.
Yeah. So
We're all together. We
Yeah.
all got nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is our life. That's a comfort group. Like they're comfortable, even though they got nothing. They're still like we're a team, right?
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
you leave.
Mhm.
Don't you leave. We're all poor together. You know, and like that's a thing. That's a thing that's manifested in our world. Is like that's like the, you know, middle lower class or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Is they're like, this is our team. Don't ever leave our team. Stay in our little neighborhood. We're all poor, and that's just our cards that we were dealt in life. And it's just like, it's not true.
You can change it.
It's not true
Yeah.
because like, so, you know, God didn't intend us to be poor, right? And like, so if you remember the saying is like, he acts to and through us. So you think he wants to be, oh, don't touch the water because you might get electrocuted, and like that's normal? Like, you think he really, like, he created everything, this wonderful universe. He made us, like, all of this cool stuff, birds, bees, trees, you know, like flowers, all that. And so you think he wants to live in poverty? And
definitely not.
you know, like, so it's just like, so then go, okay, so if it's me,
Yeah.
you know, like there's not everybody has the same drive, not everybody
That's
has
correct,
the same
yeah.
thinking, not everybody has
Right.
the same opportunities.
That's right.
But those of us that do, you gotta just go, all right, you know, it-
Why me? Why not you?
yeah.
Why me? Quit asking. Why not you?
And so you just take it, and like, so then what happens is, like, we talk about it right in this book, is the champagne glass pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
The champagne glass pyramid, your glass is at the top. It's just a little skinny little glass. Once yours is full, it then flows into everybody else's. So that means that, like, your wife's family, like, once you start hitting it,
Mm-hmm.
dude, you can cut them checks.
You can do different things
Yeah.
for them.
But at the same time, I have one quick question: is, for example, when like your auntie, sorry, she said, "Hey, why not you?" If I were in your position, I could say, because I don't know if I really deserve it. You know, like, do I deserve it? Like, you know.
Belief or trust? That sounds more like belief.
I don't believe that I deserve it. Yeah.
Why don't you trust that you deserve it?
It's not being conceited. You know, like, so that I think that's probably what you're stuck on. You're like, man, like, why me? Like, why should I have a Lamborghini, and why should I have a yacht and a mansion, and why? And it's just like, because you deserve it,
And
because you put in a lot of service.
You put that service in.
You know, like, and you're like, but like, that's weird.
It's normal. Because if you don't put the work in, you don't put nothing in the bank, can't withdraw and take anything out. So if you weren't doing all these good things along the way in the pathway, then these blessings won't come, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
you won't.
You already paid the price already.
Yeah, if you weren't serving,
Yeah.
if you weren't doing good,
Sorry, buddy.
yeah, nothing happens,
Yeah,
dude. So
yeah.
like, you wouldn't even have that conversation.
Yeah,
you
we'll be
know?
having a conversation from the jail cell. Hey, Noah, how you doing? Hi.
Yeah.
Put your hand on the
Be up
glass.
against-
Put your hand on the glass. Oh, I feel you, bro. I feel you. You see? But you have a choice, and you choose to give, and you keep giving, and say, well, when do I stop? You never stop giving, because that's what it is. The more you give, the more you can get. I mean, look at when Brad got in contact with you. You had no idea that you'd be sitting here doing a podcast with us.
Had no idea I would
You
ever
had
have a
no
podcast
idea.
because that
None of
would
that.
not even happen.
None of that. You didn't
That's
see
so
any of that.
That's true.
But we saw it.
Yeah, don't you have like
Me
a
neither.
booking rate after
Yeah.
this? What time is your next one?
What time is it?
It's 7:11.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap it up.
The next person, it's 9 o'clock.
Oh,
But
okay.
I have to redo the whole.
Yeah, so you need
Okay.
time to do that.
Yeah.
To get it all.
But like so that's what I'm saying is like so yeah, like, so because of how we started, like, you were just like, I'm an audio guy,
I'm
and
an
then we
audio
got
guy.
you doing the videos, and
Yeah,
then
man.
how much money do you make from your podcast career now? You know, maybe
Yeah.
he should be giving us a commission.
I'm just
True,
saying,
true.
man. You know what? We should talk about that afterwards. We'll talk about it after off of camera.
So that's all it is, man. Is like, you don't, this stuff, like, and that's why I say it kind of feels like magic, you know, because like, and that's all I can't really explain it any other way than like I'll say, oh, it's the universe delivers. Like, I'll usually say that because that's different than saying it's just magic.
Yeah.
You know, like, but like, really, like, I kind of, you know, I've studied business, you know, I've been,
Magical things do happen.
yeah, like,
they
I
do.
mean,
Can you justify something in your business on other businesses you cannot explain, but you can explain by magic?
yeah, I mean, like, I think how my employees have come to me is very magical, because like, I never advertised.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I didn't realize that I had position available. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, you know, like, say, like, Jessica, you know, who runs our kids division, like, you know, she's like, hey, man, can I come work for you? I'm just like, like, to do what, man?
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, well, I want to do something with recycling and teaching kids stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I kind of have like a book that's written, but I don't know what to do. And she's like, well, I'll do it for you. I'm like, so that's where like I had to meditate and kind of go, how did this happen?
Yeah,
Magic.
because you also trust the process at the same time.
Well, I think I was in that point of like, I believed,
You wasn't
and
at the trust yet.
and like I was transitioning from belief to trust. Like, I think I was, and I
Yeah.
was like, what is this, you know? And I'm like, I go, I can't I don't understand this, you know? And so you know, it's like Delroy will
Yeah.
say, he heard the voice. You know,
Mhm.
like I didn't hear a voice.
Yeah,
Like you'll hear the voices
Mhm.
because
I hear the voice.
you know that he has a stronger connection. You
Yeah.
know, it's like so. But I had this feeling, I guess,
Feeling.
was like, well, say yes, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like I seriously didn't, and
Just say yes.
and so now,
Look at it now. Look at it now. You're on book number 2. You got companies coming and saying, "Hey, I want to pay you because we want to have
Yeah.
our machine in."
yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, like so
Yeah.
you kind of go, man, like it has to be some sort of magic, you know. It has to be, like, because I couldn't make this up.
You can't explain it. You can't do it.
I didn't expect it.
hmm
You know, like you know what I mean. Like you can go through the whole list.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. And so like eventually you have, but then you have to chalk it up to something.
Mm-hmm.
And like so then, well, I guess you could go the law of attraction made it happen. I attracted it.
But still, it's for me. If you say the law of attraction, it's still it's still magic. You know?
No matter where you go, it's magic happening all the time.
So that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
man. It is like as much as you want to study business, and
Yeah.
like I think like the purpose of this talk was about how you conduct yourself. Is like, do you want to conduct yourself like a gangster and cheat people, or
Or
do
you
you
wanna?
want to give value, right?
I prefer giving value.
And so like again is like, so it's not different than like, you know, when you go biblically, like, you know, we can bust out Moses and Jesus and all, like why did they get, you know, hooked up with stuff? It's because they were just doing good. And like, you know, when you're doing good.
And you know when you're doing bad.
True.
Because you know that feeling. When you're doing bad, you feel it inside. And when you're doing good, you get that feeling of, oh yeah, that feels really good.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
But again, you can try to put it aside and delay it and not face it. But eventually, you're going to have to face it because you can't run from it. You can't run from your conscience. It's with you
can
all
see
the time.
A lot
right?
of gangster. He was talking about gangster before. Like I was like watching documentary about
Yeah.
like, big gangster.
Yeah.
They was not happy. They could not
Sleep
sleep
at night.
properly.
You can't sleep.
They have to hire people, but then they have to
Be careful.
trust those people. You know, like who they supposed
They
to
don't
be
trust
bodyguard.
anybody, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Even
just,
their wife,
yeah.
they could not even trust their own kids
Yeah.
because they're thinking, hey, maybe they work with someone else or so. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. They don't sleep at night. It looks glamorous, and you think they're sleeping. No, because you can't run away from when you do that.
Well, I mean, look at Scarface, dude. Right? You've seen
Yeah.
that movie,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So like ultimately, he's like, he doesn't trust anybody.
Yeah,
And like he's lost his friends, his wife, and all, you know, and he's just like, I don't trust anybody. And it's like, do you even trust yourself? He's like, probably the answer is no, right? But he had such a cool lifestyle, right? You know, he had like all the cool houses and cars, and it looked amazing. But it's like, nah.
yeah, yeah. You need people like me. You need people like me.
First you get the money, and then you get the power,
They get the power.
and then you get the women.
You need people like me. You call me a bad guy. You call me a bad guy.
You know?
You like that? Yeah, I saw that movie. I was like, wow.
So,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like at the same time, a lot of gangster they get away with it. I think it was the book of
And dude, that's cool, man. It is like, and like we talk about that with our competition, you know, is like so we focus on, you know, a formula called CLV, customer lifetime value, right? It's like, so we try to, you know, it's kind of like the Costco model,
Right. Okay.
right? Like, so you're trying to go low margin but
Yeah,
high volume.
Yeah.
Whereas like most people in our industry, and I would say in most industries, BMW are trying to knock it out of the park every time. They're trying to hit that high volume, you know, or sorry, the high margin.
high
Yeah.
margin but
Yeah.
lower volume.
High margin. Well, like actually, they love more volume.
Yeah.
Like then it's just more money, and like so, like it's your choice, man. You know, it's your choice how you want to run your business. Is like, but like,
Yeah.
you know, ultimately that catches up to you, man. You're gonna get caught with your hand in the cookie jar. You know, your customers are gonna be like, hey, man, like
Whoa, hold up.
your price is $3,000 more than the guy next door.
And the next guy is doing it for $700. So now where do you think I'm gonna go to
True.
this?
Well, the thing is,
700?
like, you see what happened after this BMW thing? Now, I trusted BMW, but now I'm thinking, so whenever I have a service, I'm probably going to go to Nixon,
Yep.
not to
Yep.
BMW anymore. If they're going to charge me like 3 times more,
So like look at your customer lifetime value, right? Is like BMW just cut your customer lifetime value to
Yeah.
zero.
Zero.
yeah.
And
true.
that's why now you have to make that decision now to say, wait a second, I believed, but you weren't being taken care of. You weren't being given value, right? So now you're going to go somewhere else where you can get value and keep a little bit of money in your pocket.
True.
So you can take your wife out for dinner
And I feel better.
and you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's the thing, man, is like, so as long as you buy into these principles, you know, is like what we're talking about here, like this is just real, man. Like we're being completely real here. We're not trying to sell you on
Sugarcoated
something. We're not
or-
selling you some bullshit,
Yeah.
you know.
You know.
It's just like, how do you feel? Can you give more? You know?
Yeah.
And the answer is probably yes, you can give more.
Yeah.
And you're like, but I want more.
Well, you got to give more.
It is
Yeah.
So when do you stop giving when you're getting, like, when someone or a business is taking advantage of you? Because if you keep giving, some businesses along the way will take advantage of you.
some people will also, you know, it's like, so you know, you just,
Yeah.
like there's givers and takers in our world, you know, and like you just have to know that, and like eventually, like you kind of phase those people out, you know, is like those customers you kind of you get to know, right? Is like they're not on the same page. So what we'll say in our organization is like they're one of us. And I'm sure you could probably say that. You can say that in your business. Is like, so like think of some of your customers or your clients that like you would say like, yeah, they're the same as me. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
start to think of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Joe and you know Steve and you know whoever. You know, it's like, so you have to align your business with, you know, like more than the other one. Like, so like whether it's 80-20 or 90-10 or whatever, 75-25.
It balances out.
Yeah.
It balances out.
But
the
you
end.
need more of those people that are aligned with you, right? Is like so like, do we have some customers that are not like
Absolutely.
aligned with us?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And those are the ones that fucking take up that like it's the 80-20 rule, you know, is like, so that 20%, like the customers that are not on your page will take up 80% of your time, and you're just like, why are we dealing with these people?
Yeah.
Oh well, because you know, da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, you know, is it worth it? You know?
Is it worth it for your health,
Yeah.
for your business? So those are questions you have to, you know, start asking
Yeah.
yourself, right?
Yeah.
If there's always a problem,
Yeah.
no matter how much money you're making,
Yeah.
like you
It's
have
not-
to ask yourself the question: is like, is it worth it?
Yeah.
And chances are, probably not.
Yeah. And every time, you know, like when I remove those people like from podcast or music or so, like those clients, sure, they bring me a good amount of money, you know, they
But
bring me
that's
business.
all you're doing it for, you know.
But I swear to God, like I cannot even sleep at night.
That's
I'm
right.
thinking, like, it's too much headache.
It's
Yeah.
too much headache. You got to get rid of that, man.
Yeah.
It's messing with your sleep. It's messing with your health.
And so like yeah, so like we've
Yeah.
we've had to break up with clients, you know, and like it just is what it is, man. Like and like really, like you don't even have to say anything. You know, like you really don't. Like you don't have to say why. Like you just say, you know, like, hey, you know, thank you. You know.
Yeah.
And like, or not say anything, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they get it, you know, and like
They get it, and you know what? It was not that bad.
yeah.
Because I realized I was more worried about how to tell them and
Right.
now not how to
'Cause
make them feel
you're
bad.
worried about the confrontation.
Exactly,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the confrontation is just in your mind.
In your head
True.
that you've been fighting with, and when you make that decision to just cut it off,
It is so true. It's like an employee basically
Yeah.
like firing someone.
yeah,
are gonna think like, oh shit, their family,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, and this guy's a little bit crazy. He's gonna act crazy.
He might shoot me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but it's true.
but
But at
it-
the same time, when I get rid of the person, it's just like, okay, well, it's. I'm thinking, fuck, I should have done that a long time ago.
Right.
Right. But again,
It just exists in your mind.
yeah.
You know, but like I mean, like that's an empathetic. That's a good
It
thing.
means you're human, bro. Means
Yeah.
you got human.
Yeah, well, and you care.
You care.
You care. You know,
Right,
is
so-
like so. Yeah, like if you didn't have that feeling, I'd be like, you're kind of a
Yeah.
psychopath, dude.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't be sitting here talking
Yeah.
right now and say, Brad, he's a
He'd
psychopath.
be sharpening this knife
I
or whatever.
see.
You know?
I see. We need to call a loony bin on him because lock him up in that little rubber room and yeah, and feed him spaghetti through a straw. That's right. That's what we're gonna do for you.
So yeah, I mean, like there's all sorts of ways to do business, and so
Yes.
like you know, it ultimately is your choice. But like the really neat thing is that like we were designed, you know, by whoever you want to say, or maybe we grew out
Whatever
of
you
a
believe,
maybe
yeah,
we
whatever
came
you
from
believe.
a tadpole and we were once a frog or a fish or whatever you want to believe in, you know. But we all have these feelings that we all have magically
Yeah.
weird.
Magically weird.
Like,
Oh,
so all of these little frogs have the same feelings, you know, like, and so that's all it is, man, is like, so you know your feeling right here is
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you're doing good, you just feel fine.
yeah. And
If you do something bad,
yeah,
you're like, ooh,
ooh, I
man.
don't like that feeling. Oh, just
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
haunts
it
you. It just
doesn't-
bothers you. It just disturbs your inner. It disturbs everything in your
I
body.
mean,
right?
you can
doesn't feel right.
you
No.
can pretend, you know, you can, like, a lot of people can
Prete-
pretend, you know, like,
Buddy,
and you
good luck.
or you can numb it,
Yeah.
you know, by doing drugs and, you know, whatever. You know, but ultimately, like, you know,
It's-
everyone has the same set of feelings,
Yeah.
you know, and it's universal,
Yes.
So true.
Yeah.
and so like,
If you won't like it being done to you, then why are you doing it?
Mm.
That's what I always say. If I don't like the way how it feel, then why am I gonna dish that to you,
Yeah.
and give you that dish? If I won't eat that dish, why should I give it to you to eat? I should be able to eat that same dish that I'm offering you.
so and that's why I
So-
told my dad, I just said, like, I can't come back to Detroit. I can't run your business. We can't do business together. And it was sad, you know, like, but at the same time, I can't, you know, like, you're a product of your environment,
Right.
It's like, so I don't think he came up with this mastermind plan of like,
Yeah.
this is how I'm gonna
But
do
it's just
business.
the way,
It
the
just-
way it goes over there. Then.
You know, like, dude, everyone is a gangster,
Yeah.
you know, everybody, and so I'm like, whoa, I'm not gonna be that way,
Yeah.
so I can't do it.
Right.
I'm gonna do my business over here.
Yeah.
However, you have to change. So this, I think, is extremely important. What you're saying too, is sometimes when you want to do things your way or business your way, you have to remove yourself from that environment and go somewhere else.
And run and steer your own ship.
And that's the sad part, though, is like, because, like, you know, like, it's cool to have a business with your parents, you know, that like having a family business, I think is a cool thing. But
Absolutely.
if like the ideology is so different, is like polar, you know, it won't work. Like there's always gonna be headbutting. It's like, oh, why didn't you use the tennis ball?
yeah,
I'm
but
like,
at
well,
the same time, you can say like, hey, okay, listen, I'm here in the business way long. I teach you. Why the heck you gonna tell me, oh, this is not good, or my value, or your book, or blah blah blah? You know what? Like, I'm here way longer than you. I saw Detroit. I saw it. You know, he can have this type of
yeah,
of,
superiority.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but how do you remove yourself from here? You have to remove yourself geographically to go somewhere else.
Yeah, like, realistically, yeah, you have to like really make that divide or cut, you know.
Because if you plant the seed in that soil, it may not be corn that's gonna come out. So you have to go plant it over here with the soil.
Oh yeah, that's what
Different.
Earl Nightingale had. That was like, you can plant like you know, corn on one side and like dangerous nightshade or whatever
Yeah.
what it was called, like right next to each other, and like they'll grow right next to each other. Like one is really good and one is really bad, you know. And so, you know, like it has to be separate. You know, it can't be together, right? Because like then everything gets contaminated, right? And so yeah, like that's the hard decision is like, but ultimately like you have to go with what is right, you know. And man, like I really hope that, you know, out of all of this stuff that we're doing, you know, more people are going to start to go based on feel, you know, instead of just like looking at like the bank account or looking at the spreadsheets and your forecasts and like, you know, oh, we need to have better margins and our quotas need to go higher and our stock price needs to be higher. And
I don't care what you do.
And like our, you know, like we need to sell more shares and, you know, like why?
Yeah.
Why not just give fucking value to the customer?
And you don't have to worry about none of that.
Yeah. Because it feels way better too.
Because they'll come back if you're giving them value. Because you're not going to go back to BMW.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because now you think about it, $700 and $3,000 is a big difference.
Yeah.
So now you've saved money. Like I said, you can go take your wife out for dinner because of that savings that you've made instead of giving it to somebody else and put it in their pocket.
True.
Put it in your pocket and put it into your household.
Absolutely.
So you can go take your business.
And I think like when they do this kind of business too, they won't feel good. The amount of money and the lifestyle that they have, it doesn't bring them happiness. I will tell you one story quickly. I got a guy who's doing like crypto scam on the podcast.
Right.
The guy came over on the podcast. The first thing he said, he need a mask. He need his voice changed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so with like talking, you know, like
in
cyber security.
yeah.
So it's like, and then he's showing picture live. Okay, he's doing this with the crypto. He's doing like basic, not scam, but a lot of scam he's doing online. But I mean, like from the picture that I saw,
Yeah.
it's a luxury lifestyle. You talking earlier about like Lamborghini and stuff.
Yeah.
He was not far from there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I was like, okay, bro, but listen.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I was like, so
Why do
you
you have to
have
wear a
like
mask?
kids and
Yeah.
And I asked him I didn't show the podcast yet, but I asked him on the podcast. I said like, but do you like your life the way? I could not even stop my sentence. He said, I fucking hate it.
Oh wow.
I hate it.
Wow.
He hated. He just hated. He just hated. I said like,
What?
but do you have a wife? He said, I can't even tell you if I have kids or wife. I can't even tell you. He cannot tell me because it's not comfortable. He have a mask.
That's
he have
such a
gloves.
bizarre thing.
Yeah.
But he's like stuck in it. He thinks he's stuck in it, I guess.
I feel like
Wow.
it's really stuck. Like the podcast, I think it's really stuck.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think he can really. But the point was. So now you have the money.
Yeah.
It's good.
But now
But the
you
feeling for sure.
He's become Scarface.
you can't really.
But hidden.
You hate
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Like he's even like hidden.
Yeah.
You were talking earlier about like paranoia and all of that.
Uh-huh.
He's definitely.
Oh, that's a part of what comes with the program when you're doing that. You cannot sleep at night. You don't have no rest. You may look and think, oh my gosh, their life is so good. They're driving a fancy car. But they ain't sleeping at night.
Yeah.
I can sleep at night and put my head down and I wake up in the morning. Like I said, I don't wake up in the morning that I negative. I don't wake up like that. I wake up happy and says, hey, thanks for the blessing. I'm here again another day. Let's see who can I touch and put a smile on their face. How you doing? Good morning. They stop and say, why are you so happy? I'll tell you what, I'm so happy. I smoke the pipe of life. There is no side effects when you smoke the pipe of life. It's abundance. I can smoke it all day.
Never stops.
Never stop. And I got enough to give to you. You get one, you get one, and you get one.
and like that's the
You know?
thing is like is if you make it more about serving and about other people giving to other people than it is about you. Right, and again, like this is all about the transition of your ego, right?
Yeah.
It is like the suppression of your ego, and so instead of buying a Lamborghini for $500,000, I would rather, or I do have 5 employees, you know, And so that's what I'm saying is like, I could have a Lamborghini.
Mm-hmm.
I could, but I choose not to because it's way more fulfilling being able to put food on other people's table,
and
to give and to watch them
Ooh.
and their happiness.
Wow. Yes, sir.
And but that's a big shift, is like, because when we're little kids, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine.
Right.
Yeah.
And like some of us never get out of that.
True. That's correct. Yeah.
Right. It's
Yeah.
like not the teacher has to come and say, Noah, you have to share, and you're like, it's mine.
Yeah.
And like
Kick and scream.
so some of us never crack out of that, and that's the egocentric sort of thing. It's all about you, and like you have to have all of this stuff, and it's like, why don't you go and hire some people? Why don't you share it? Oh, no, I want my Lamborghini. And it's like,
Well, you don't have, like I say, you don't have to have a Lamborghini. You can have something nicer, and then take what you would spend on the Lamborghini and maybe go give your employees a little bonus to just uplift their life, and they'll come to work and do a little bit more for you. You can get more minerals out of the mine because they know that you're taking care of them.
yeah.
And
True.
you know what I'm saying? And that greed is not there because you're sharing the wealth. It's a much better feeling that you get. It's a better sleep at night knowing that you're touching so many people's lives in a different way. Man, whew, you can't put money on that.
Yeah.
There's no price you can put
Yeah,
on that feeling.
like
It's just-
when you can see someone
yeah.
that, like an employee, and like you can just see their happiness,
And that's, oh man.
and you're like, really, like you're just super happy and they're like, yeah, man, this is awesome,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you believe in them, and
They see that. They
like
feel that.
like they have autonomy, and like they like, I don't yell at people, but other other bosses for sure, man. And so it's definitely, man, it's cool. Like I gotta say, like that's the coolest feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
you
agree.
never like yell, because before I was working in a kitchen, and trust me, in France, chef, they will yell at you.
Oh,
Like they will actually hit you.
hit you and
Doof.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it happened many times.
yeah.
Many times.
that's when you learned. I'm like, I'm out of here. Moving to Canada.
Yeah, but no, but it's way different when, like, bosses, they talk to you like respect, like in a
Yes.
respectful way.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm gonna respect them 10 times more
Yes.
because I'm driving not by fear anymore.
That's right.
I'm driving by like respect, and like, oh, okay, he did something good. Like I can steal. I can. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like if the boss is not here for like 2 weeks, instantly, if your boss is an asshole, I can think about like, you know what? Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I
Yeah.
put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
That will come. I won't do it, but
Yeah,
still.
No,
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
that's the
Come to
thing.
my mind.
That's the
Mhm.
thing. Yeah.
If
Absolutely.
your boss is like really like nice
Mm-hmm.
and respectful, you're never gonna think that.
That's
You're gonna
right.
think the opposite.
That's right.
I'm gonna watch out if there's anything wrong here.
What's that saying?
And that's what my employees, like, they watch like a hawk. If there's something like,
Out of
like
place.
even like an invoice that
Mhm.
comes in, they're like, no, that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Fix it.
Mhm.
Like that's too much.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. Like so, and like so that's the thing, man. Is like when you have that trust and respect and appreciation, it really is symbiotic.
Mhm.
Really is symbiotic. But man, like it takes a lot of work to get there.
Well, see, and that's what I'm saying. I'm glad you said that because a lot of times they come up with these things thinking, oh, it's such a easy, quick fix things. No, it's not. Quit lying to the people and telling them. Quit sitting on your yacht and you're with a bunch of girls behind you and going, yeah, it's gonna be good. Liar! It doesn't work that way.
That sounds cool though, man.
Well, you know what?
You know?
Maybe we should get
But we see that on social media.
Yeah.
I see that on Instagram. The guy's 25 years
I'm
old.
starting to see it now.
Have a Rolex. And
Yeah.
Like school.
Yeah.
25 years old. I mean,
Look, we're gonna give it to them in the real raw form, so they get the real nutrients, not this watered down, fake stuff that you come selling people. Yeah, will they catch a few people? Yeah, they will, but they ain't catching me, cause I ain't falling for no banana in a tailpipe. Eddie Murphy, no banana in a tailpipe. No, real. It's not about sitting like that. It's letting people realize it's real when you're dealing with this book, right? It takes time, right? Because you have to develop these attitudes, you have to develop these skills, you have to work with people. So, yeah, people are gonna get value from this book. When you just read it from top to bottom, you will see and will understand why we're saying all these things and why we're passionate about doing what we're doing here, because we want to make a difference in people's lives. We want them to see, we want them to understand you can do it. You just got to trust and you just got to believe. Not what if, I hope so. It's not none of that. I believe and I trust. You trust yourself, you trust your gut. You got to trust it and let it do its thing. And your job is to just plant those seeds in the ground.
You're making a difference, but you're making a positive difference.
Positive difference. Don't be sitting there wondering why. No, your job is to plant the seeds and keep planting.
Yeah, and like, so I always just say, like, pick something. Pick something. Like there's a lot of different things in this world that you can do.
Absolutely.
That you're interested in, but at the same time can help other people. Like that's all it is, man. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's like, pick something, pick anything.
Well, I mean, think about it. When you look in this room here and all the lights and the mics and stuff, somebody thought about it.
Yeah.
It's making our life easy to be able to have this podcast and to be able to communicate. What if these people didn't really think about this idea and never did that? Then we'd be using a bunch of soup cans, right?
Strings,
with a string on it and go, yeah, can you hear me there? Yeah, can you hear you? Oh, yeah, okay.
I want to go back to that. I want to get rid of my cell phone and go back to that.
Yeah. Oh, no, we got a long distance call. Brad is tapping in. Tie his cord onto that thing. Okay, Brad, can you hear us? Yeah, we got a three-way going on here now. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, everything is all about improving.
Yeah.
Is like, so
Make
so
your life
if
easy.
you have that idea, it's like, don't paralyze yourself, and like that's what happens is a lot of people paralyze themselves before they jump in. Like they're kind of like, oh well, somebody else does it. Well, I gotta write a business plan. I need to, like there's all these excuses.
Oh,
like,
that paralyze your
Yeah,
movement?
that
cripples you, yeah.
like or you have to research more. Oh, I have to do more research, and it's just like,
Jump in the water.
I have to make it better. Oh, I have to make it perfect. It's just like,
Hmm.
dude, just fucking go.
Jump in the
man.
water and start a swimming.
Yeah.
Then you'll know how deep it is. Because by the amount of time you sit there trying to analyze, paralyzing, and scanalizing, you're going to jump in the water and go, well, it's not so bad. Right? Because you're wasting time. Just jump in. And that's how you learn for real, is when you jump into the real deal.
Yeah.
Then you know.
Then you can fix.
Feel
You
it.
can fix all the issues.
You
like,
got it. Yeah.
By being like a perfectionist, and that happened to me so many times, even today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's not perfect, bro. It's not perfect.
So you're
it's
paralyzed.
okay.
You're paralyzed. And you keep changing. You keep going over it, and that's not good, and that's not good. As musicians, we know.
Bro,
Right.
like this is now like the fourth time that we've come down here, or fifth time, is like, and every single time it's different.
True. Yeah. It's
Like
Yeah.
this place has changed every single time for the better.
Yeah.
Everything gets better, right? And so that's all I'm saying is like, you got to keep giving more value, man. You have to keep thinking is like, can I do better? And the answer is
Yeah.
You can always do better.
You can always do better.
Yeah.
But quit beating yourself up about want to be perfect. And just, it's okay not to be perfect.
dude. Like I mean, like the like one of our podcasts that we did, you had to keep switching the camera,
Yes.
and like, but we were just like, whatever, it's like it actually added something different. People are like, why does he keep standing up to fuck with the camera?
Yeah.
We planned it that way.
We planned that way. It's all a part of it. It's funny because we were doing a show downtown, and I'm rocking it out. Then a cord from a mic fell out from the microphone.
Yeah.
So I just quickly improvised and grabbed Brandon's microphone and just sang with it and just and people thought it was a part of the show. No,
Yeah.
we didn't plan it. We didn't plan it. It just, the cord come out that says, okay, I have no microphone. I just grabbed his and did my part.
Nothing's
You
perfect, man.
trust the
Nothing-
process.
I
and it's
trusted
like, hey,
the
there's
process.
an issue.
Yes.
When you're doing the show.
Yeah.
And you decide, it's like, okay, there's a problem.
Yeah.
I'll fix it. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. The people doesn't know who's watching. They will know if you make it be known, but it was so quick. I just grabbed it, did my part, stick it back into him, and while he was doing his part, and I stubbed my mic in, and then I'm back on the track.
It's like, whoa, you know,
It was all a part of
that just comes from experience.
come from
man.
experience, right?
You
So
know?
with experience takes time. So it takes time to learn these things, take time to create these things, not this fast sitting on a boat.
Well, it's funny is like Brandon.
Yeah.
Funny that you mentioned Brandon. You know, is like, so we have a new employee. Brandon is our
Oh, nice,
newest
okay.
employee, right?
Nice.
And so so I said, hey, you know, like, what's your address? I gotta send you a copy of Walk Good, right? And so he's like, oh, I got it. I'm gonna read it this weekend. I said, don't.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
Why not?
Why not?
he's like, what? I'm like, no, like, don't read it, the whole thing in a weekend.
Yeah.
Like, read one chapter
Right.
and like meditate on it
Yeah.
or think
Yeah.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
read the next one.
and so it was cool is like, you know, like, this was like a couple weeks ago, like, you know, he had read the first chapter. And like, so he was like talking about the first chapter, and he was like, yeah, man, you know, I get it, you know, it's about giving value. And I'm like, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so that, I think that's the idea here, is that, like, you know, man, we're doing like these long drawn out podcasts for a specific reason.
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot of philosophy that we're talking about here, you know, and it's just, it's real. It's real. Is like, we're just trying to help people, man.
Yeah.
And like, I think, you know, a lot of people, even if they're successful, they still need help, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
like, you might be like a solo entrepreneur and you don't have business partners.
Yeah.
And you're alone, you're isolated, and so hopefully like this touches and helps, you know, like,
Yeah.
those people that are like, just like, man, is this really gonna keep going like this? And we're like, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it
Yeah.
does. Keep giving value.
Keep giving. Yeah.
Trust.
Trust. Believe.
You know? The minute that you don't feel good, stop doing that. Whatever doesn't make you feel good, stop it. You know, I think that's like a big thing. That's a big thing. Is like, if you're like, man, I just don't feel good about this,
And then stop.
stop doing it.
Stop doing it.
And trust the process that you're gonna find an alternative or something.
There'll be a replacement. You know,
Trust the process. It's a big thing to trust the process. That's the tricky part, where for
it
people
could
to
be really
kind
scary
of
because
yeah.
you don't see,
That's right.
like,
That's right.
you don't know.
You can't see what you can't
You can
see.
see like what you're losing.
Yeah.
You
but
don't see like.
but do you
what
know that you're gonna wake up tomorrow?
if I know that they're gonna wake up tomorrow,
Do you know that you're gonna wake up tomorrow?
I'm not 100% sure, but I trust.
Right? You know. Ooh, here we go. I guess that's time. I think that's
you're
pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
That
Trust.
was like.
You want to wrap it up, maybe?
Yeah, let's wrap it
yeah,
up.
I think we're getting there, man. I think like we've kind of milked the cow as much as we can, you know.
Yeah, we have to let the cow kind of rest now to, produce some more milk.
That's true.
Yeah, we can't keep draining it out, and
Yeah.
let it go eat some grass now and go relax
some
and
cheese in
take some
France.
cheese, eat some Cheetos,
You know.
drink a boobale, boobale.
Yeah, no,
Boobale.
I thought like we hit the points, you know, and like again, I think we're getting, just more passionate about what we're doing here, you know.
Yeah,
And I feel like it's like a more like now real life, and
Yeah.
it's, I feel really touched, when it was like guys talking.
yeah. But you see, now you're a part of it, and now you're experiencing that vibration that we're on, and it's just really nice to have you on board with that and be a part of this whole entire thing to be able to help people. And it feels good. I'm really glad that you're here, and I know Brad feels the same way, that you've transitioned over to
Dude,
this part
like
where-
this thing, man.
Some days I wake up and say, I don't know. I just gotta believe and trust that it's gonna go the way that it should.
But I mean, just how it's evolved.
Yeah, for sure.
Is like,
Yeah.
this is magic.
Yeah, it is magic. Yeah,
I mean, when you go back to the origin, dude, like you know, I found you on Craigslist, this fucking whatever the audio thing,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, just take it and give me your money later. I'm like,
Oh yeah. Remember? Yeah, right.
Who is this guy?
I was like,
You trusted.
no,
I did trust. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought he was some sort of fucking scammer.
Oh,
I
he
was
did.
like,
Oh,
shit,
wow.
he's-
Okay,
he's-
that's
he was checking out my place.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Call
No,
the
I
police.
could tell, I could tell right away, and I was just like, okay. And I think I gave you a book like that day. I was like, here, man, take this book, and you're like, okay, cool, man, and like it was just, but just to see how it's magic. This like
It's magic.
You gotta admit, like
Yeah.
it's like I don't know how else to say it.
True.
From that day one that we met to now,
Yeah.
what is this, 5 years later or something like that? Like
Yeah. It's about that, huh?
Wow, that time
it's
fly
about
by
that.
quick. Holy wow.
It's about
it's
that.
because of you, man.
Yeah, damn.
We could have been done by now if it wasn't for this guy.
No, we ain't getting done yet. No. You ain't Rome wasn't built in one day. No, it was built by one brick at a time.
Yeah.
One brick at a, that's why you said, don't read the book in the weekend. No, read one chapter.
So it actually feels
just-
better, man. It
Yeah.
feels better, like because like
Yeah.
if Delroy's schedule was like kind of like ours, where we could just nail down, okay, let's do it, here, like his schedule is all over the fucking map,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but it makes it, man, like this is more powerful because it's so rare that we get together.
Yeah,
Space.
it's true. Yeah.
Space.
True.
You gotta let it breathe.
Yeah.
If you don't let it breathe,
Yeah.
and it suffocates,
Yeah.
you don't get the nutrients. You gotta let it breathe. You gotta let the cow go eat some grass, and create some more milk. You can't keep milking that bad boy and go milk. No, 'cause it's gonna dry up. So
it's-
breathe.
What
it's
about
so
chocolate
valuable.
milk? Where does chocolate milk come from?
Well, that's our family secret. That's our family secret. We can't reveal our family secret.
But that, for me, like that gives me so much value, because also it's so good to feel like you already have the answer
Yeah,
and you already pass, like what I feel or
yeah,
my issue. You already had them.
yeah.
You know how it is. Already.
hmm And it's so magical talking to you and then hearing you answer your own question.
Yeah, that was crazy.
You see?
That was crazy.
That's what it's about.
But
right?
if you guys won't talk about that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I won't even ask the question.
That's right.
So
That's right.
yeah, no, that's so important. But it's funny to see like my process too.
That's right.
I keep learning myself
Absolutely.
every day.
Every day. Every
Yeah.
day. The moment you stop learning, it's time for you to leave the planet. Because you
True.
never stop learning. You can't shut it down and say, oh,
and like you gotta look at it, in a different point of view. Is like, so okay, we're recording this podcast, the three of us, for people that we're trying to help outside there, but guess what, you're getting all of it.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like that's what you gotta think of, is like, man, like I kind of lucked out. I'm getting all this high level knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm even in it too.
Mhm.
You know,
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
You know, like even before when I was recording the podcast,
Yeah.
like for me, like people will think like it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Because like it's hard to realize like all the editing, the video recording.
Right.
You remember that over there, the switcher?
Yeah, the switcher. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know how much like headache guy gave me before, like even the big switcher.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like hours non-stop.
That's right.
I had to call all my contacts.
Mhm.
They
That's
come
right.
over. They just like fuck that, it's too hard. But now it's like it's super easy.
Yes.
So but at the same time, when I watch you guys and then I was like switching the button, I'm getting all the knowledge,
Yes. Uh-huh.
and this is like way more than any kind of like check.
That's right.
It's just like, bro, this is so good.
Mm-hmm.
You switching,
Yeah.
you're doing what I love, and,
And
at
you're-
the same time,
You're gaining
I'm
knowledge.
getting all the knowledge.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're and again, like you're getting close to the 10,000 hour mark now.
Yeah.
True.
You're getting close to it.
Yep.
And
so
like
true.
then all of a sudden you're a pro.
Yeah.
So true. That is so true.
We're happy to be a part of the process and
Oh,
watching
thank
you
you.
grow
Thank you.
and seeing how you change. So like we were saying, this is the joy of watching it happening to you and seeing that,
Yeah.
can you imagine the other people who don't really have this yet, and what it's going to
Yeah.
do for them, and how it's going to help them
Yeah.
to have clarity and to know, yeah, you can do this, and you.
And you don't realize, like, on the spot, you're thinking, like, my God, this is. Like, if you give me, like, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago,
Yeah.
starting that, I'll be like, like, if I see the work, I'll probably say no.
No.
It's
That's
too
right.
much.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
You already checked out already, yeah.
I would think, like, okay, that much hour of work and, like, figure it out and call people and then
Mm-hmm.
life in general. I'm thinking, like, no. But if it's worth it, yeah, for sure, it's worth it.
Absolutely, it
Because
is.
that completely, like, you know, like, switch my life, switch businesses too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's giving you value that you're doing podcasts with people
Yeah.
and earning a living, which is a great thing.
Yeah.
We're happy for that. We're
Thank you.
yeah. We want to see you successful. We want
Thank
you. You know what I'm saying? We want you to take care of that.
You know, and that's the beauty of it, man.
That's the beauty of it.
So yeah, I mean, like, because we get the direct feedback right away. Is like, so like if you weren't solving your own riddles,
Yeah.
with us here, like, we'd be like, well, we're missing the fucking target here, dude.
Right.
So it's really helpful for us
Mm-hmm.
with you, because we know that we're laying down stuff that is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because like you're our instant feedback. If we were just doing this on camera and we're hoping that the audience is catching it,
Yeah.
Right.
we're just believing, we're not trusting.
Right.
And so you're giving us that trust with your feedback. We're like, holy shit, we fooled him.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah, we sure did. He's believing himself. He's
know?
answering his own questions.
You know?
He's answering. He's getting answers.
Like, we say a lot of stupid shit, and he believes it.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm just saying, is like, it's just a wonderful thing that's happened, man.
Magic.
Is like, so without you, man. Like, I think we'd be into it, you know, but I don't think it would be as much, you know.
Yeah, that's so cool. But I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
That's for sure, because I learned so much, and then I can ask questions.
Yes.
And then you got another client in an hour, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up because my boy's got another client.
Like, how cool is that, dude?
That
Right?
was excellent, man.
You know.
That was crazy. We did like wow. Yeah, fuck, man. We did almost 3 hours.
What?
Well, no, I think we started.
5.
We probably
5:30
started
maybe?
at like 5:45 or something like that. I think.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So, but like,
yeah.
But that's okay.
that's good. Like,
Leave the man. He's
a
saying it
good
was 3
2
hours.
of-
Yeah, 3 hours. No, I'm
good-
going with you on the 3
Good,
hours.
good footage for
Yeah.
sure, man. As always, man. That was good.
See?
Yeah.
Thank
Worth the wait, man, for
There you-
sure.